Oh, 2A. Yeah. So yeah, please make sure that you are in your heat and that you follow the heat order. So that's the plan for now. We are gonna do the under 20s first. We are gonna finish it, and then when we finish the under 20s, we are gonna see what we do next. The possibilities are that we go for the Danish Open A category wave or under 17. All of the rest, all of the other divisions are released for today. You are not gonna sail today. We leave it for tomorrow and we see what we can do tomorrow. Okay? So today we do under 20s first. We're gonna start with under 20. When we finish, we decide if we go Danish Open A or under 17 boys. All clear for everyone? Okay, so that's the plan. Regarding about the heat duration, it's gonna be 9 minutes with 3 minutes transition. So we are gonna start at 45. So at 45, we are gonna have the green flag, the red flag up for the first sequence. 9 plus 3, okay? So get the 12, and then 45 we start. We are gonna count the two best waves and only one jump at the moment. It's super windy and offshore, so it's a little bit tricky to jump, okay? Two waves, two best waves, and the best jump. Here, the competition area, please, competition area. We want you to sail in between the viewpoint there that all the people are looking. Okay, that's your left hand side of the competition area, and the right hand side is the small pier here. Anything else, if you take a wave and you are riding passing the pier, everything you do passing the pier is not gonna count. If you do something before, it's gonna count, but after the little pier there, we cannot even see from the tower. So just please be focused on sailing in front of the tower. You have good waves here. You have also wind, and it's everything easier for us and for you. Yeah, please be aware that you should enter the competition at your own risk. If you don't feel comfortable about sailing with this 50 knots gust and everything, please don't go in the water if you don't feel like it's your kind of conditions. But for sure, we have to start the competition in this kind of conditions for everyone. Yes? How far out? I would love that you keep inside because there is a massive waves coming and we cannot even see you behind the waves. So it's yeah, don't go too far because we are not gonna be able to see you.
Sorry, at what time it starts?
45.
45, 11:45.
Yes, with the first seat. Okay, so you have half an hour.
I have half an hour.
Half an hour to check, to train and everything.
Is there on the board that we have? We have to check on the phone on the board.
Everything is gonna be in the two sides.
Okay, okay.
But for sure, we starting at 45. Okay, with the first seat. 45, red flag up. 3-minute sequence, 9-minute hits. Two waves, one jump.
Okay.
For the under 17, for them, they are released.
Okay, so there we go. We are going to be on. Let me just, well, you don't want to see me. Hang on a minute. Let's just get the main shot on there. There we go. So yeah, if you are just tuning in, obviously I've just tried on the other live stream, but we are live now. So I'm going to explain it all again for the guys that have just got here. I am not in Clipmuller. No, I'm not. I'm here in sunny Portugal. Got the t-shirt on, got my shorts on. I'm living the dream. The boys and the girls are over in Clipmuller. I've just switched it to 1080. So I don't know if that's made it any better. Let me know if that's better. If it's not, tough luck. That's what we're getting. Mr. Norstick, obviously, he is literally doing this for free. So you are getting this live stream from Mr. Norstick for free. He's got the beach cameras. We're going to have interviews. As far as I know, it's pretty miserable weather. Amazing for windsurfing, because it's I think, well, by the sounds of it, it's cross offshore, down the line, storm chase style. As you just heard from the briefing, it is 2 waves to count, 1 jump. It's a 9-minute heat, and it's under 20s boys are going, and it is windy. You can see by the way the sail, hang on, I'm going to switch to the main screen. You can see by the way the sails are kind of moving. This looks like Liam Dunkerbeck. Yeah, Liam Dunkerbeck. So he's there. He is the top seed as far as I know, just going for a goiter on the inside. So it looks like it's favouring wave riding. Jumping on the way out seems to be difficult. When they've only got 1 jump to count, yes, it's tricky because it's cross off. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. We're going to be following this through the day, and then they're going to be seeing, looks like Leon Jammer. I'm pretty sure that's Leon Jammer. Just kind of warming up. He's obviously not a youth. He won't be in the competition. But yeah, we are here. We are we're experimenting with this. Like I've spoke to Finn Noor. He goes a lot to Tenerife. And we've talked about filming some of the racing stuff, remotely, like, whereas I don't actually have to be there, and he would film it and we would try and do it. So we have talked about it in the past, and this is the first kind of way of trying it. Obviously, it's a bit more cost effective. It's a bit cheaper for everyone involved. So yeah, that's just the way we're going to try and do it. And usually I'm commentating off a screen anyway. So as long as the internet is good, it shouldn't be a problem. So let us know. Like I say, any feedback is always good. It's always nice to be there, to be fair, and feel the atmosphere and feel the wind. But to be fair, sitting here in my shorts and t-shirts, not so bad. I won't lie, it's not so bad. But yeah, that's the way we're sitting. If you missed the briefing, if you're just tuning in now, we just saw the sailors briefing. They are going to go live with a competition in half an hour's time. So there's a 30-minute warm-up. We have got 50 knots. I just heard them say that 50 knots of wind. We're talking 3 4s, 3 0s, probably some of the smaller kids, in the 2 meter range, 2.5 meter, I should say. So yeah, that is how we do it. But the under 20s, what's Leon got? Leon Jammer. He's just trying to get, look how windy it is. Interesting. Oh, yes, you love it. You absolutely love it. Yeah, I have to get the dog in the booth for an interview. Billy says we can put comments on the screen in this system I've got here. So if you do have a comment, yeah, stick it in. PWA's on there. So stream's looking epic. Bill says I'm getting 1080. That is good. That's what I was hoping for. Sorry about that. That was my fault. I upgraded a bit late. $50 a month. How much? Oh my God. Thanks to everyone for chipping in the beer money. It definitely helping put all this together. Right. Let's have a look. What's the update? So yeah, looks like notice board is inside the container. They're saying on the WhatsApp group, which I am guessing that's because it's absolutely throwing it down. Right. Also, I'm going to have a look at the draws and who we've got coming up, because in the first rounds of the under 20s, I'm sure there's going to be a few names I don't know. So again, you're going to have to bear with me a lot. If anyone out there is watching their friends, their family, maybe there's someone sails at their local beach. If you want to chip in any information, I think with the youth and juniors level, I am way up for it. I had asked for some sort of information sheets. I haven't had them yet. So, like I said, any information from you guys at home is muchly appreciated, because I think when you're commentating, the more information, the better. It's always nice to know backgrounds of the sailors, you know, where's the local beaches, and, you know, also what they've done before. I'll know quite a lot of them, don't get me wrong, in the under-20s category, but I'm sure there'll be a few which I will definitely benefit from having you guys at home chucking out some info. There we go, little aerial from Leon. I mean, he's enjoying himself, that's for sure. That's kind of not his local spot, obviously, but it's his definitely go-to for the Northern German riders, you know, up to Denmark, cold Hawaii. We've got a little bit of info coming in here, actually. Oliver is another West Aussie from Margaret River. Defonge. Okay. Wow. It's I'm looking forward to seeing the Aussies. I mean, I can't imagine they get many conditions like this, but it is down the line. I mean, that would go in their favor, but I'm pretty sure they've not been down the line with like 3-meter sails. So great you're doing this. Yeah. Well, to be fair, yeah, it's Finn who's doing this. I am just trying to help him out with a bit of commentary. This is my job, so I do get paid for this. Like Finn, doing it for free, so I can't take all the credit at all. Although I usually get the credit, I usually get also the feedback, the bad feedback as well. I am literally just the commentator here. That is all I'm doing. I'm just talking about these guys on the water ripping it up. I guess it's easy way. Bill says 6 mil suits. I don't know, actually. Like, we've been cold away this time of year sometimes, and it's sometimes not that cold. I remember the water being pretty warm. That was in September. Obviously, we're into October. But I think if it's been a warm summer, usually the water's still warmish. Anyone from Denmark want to chip in with some actual, you know, how cold's the water? How is it up there? I would say it's not too bad at the moment, but I could be wrong. He says that sitting in Portugal in his shorts. Yeah, Virgil's saying, no, it's not so cold in Denmark right now. I was going to say, I can't believe we go. If you are tuning in, we haven't started the competition yet. We've got, you know, half an hour. I thought I'd stay online, you know, and just build it up. Otherwise, when you just jump straight in, it does take a while for it to get built up. So I'm going to stay online. Again, am I going to be doing full-on commentary now? No, but I'll do a bit of chat with you guys. So if you definitely keep the comments coming in, and I'll just go through them. It'll be like a half an hour windsurfing podcast with some live views, but this is full storm chase, what we've got right now. We're going to say still sailing 4.3s by the sounds of it. 14 degrees. That's blooming balmy. Balmy. That's warm, isn't it? Water's around 15 degrees, 4.3 works. Yeah. 5 mil. I mean, it depends on what's how you. I was going to say, it depends where you're from. If you're from the Caribbean right now, it might be a bit warm there. Here we go. Seb Norris giving us some information about the Aussies. Jake came first youth at Margaret River. Oliver came second. Both came 8th overall in the elite. It's going to be really interesting to see how the Aussies get on. Obviously, you know, the reference we've got is Jager Stone coming up through that. And then when he came into, you know, the PWA or into Europe, he absolutely smashed it from early doors. So, you know, there's a very good standard over there, 100%, which is really good to see. Bill says we had 40 knots in Brighton yesterday and 20 degrees. Wow. The system passed through. It's 8 degrees this morning. Okay. So I'm pretty sure, I guess that's with the wind. Yeah, wind chill. Yeah, I can imagine it's pretty small. Got Paul Simmel on there for... Oh, I was just about to say he's going to get smashed here. It looks hard riding. Yeah, sorry, Paul Simmel from We Won. The board brand tuning in. Good to see. Oh, Leon Jam attacker off the inside. He's having a lovely old session here. Yeah, good to see. Like I say, get in the comments. Like, this is your chance today, because we can do that with the system we're using here. I can give you a bit of a shout out. I can put you on the screen if you've got a relative comment. Obviously, Gal with hi, he gets on there. So yeah, just feel free. What have we got? What have you boys got? Where are you? What sort of conditions have you got? Same in France. It was very calm, but next week we're going to have 25 knots. You lucky. I tell you what, Portugal has been pretty windless. I won't lie. It's been pretty windless. Seb Norris, we're talking about the Aussie kids as well. Again, new names for us, so it's good to give them some coverage here, because we're going to see them in action today. They're both seeded, I think, as far as I can understand. Seb Norris says both lads have come through the WA Southwest Junior Windsurfing School, and I know it's kind of been based around Margie's and those crew. And they have got like a nice line of Patrick, I think, has been helping out with that. Obviously, Jane Seaman, Serge, and all these guys. I know there's going to be people I haven't met, but when I was there, which must have been, maybe 10 years ago, it maybe started up. So, you can see the progression, and that's what we see all around the world. These little groups, how they grow, because you need a few people to keep that sort of thing going, and then people join the group and it just gets bigger and bigger. The motivation is there, but you've got to have the parents, you've got to have the guys that are passionate and they're putting in their own time, because that's how these work. No one's getting paid for these little junior groups. Obviously, usually it's parents, but there's a lot of hours that goes in, volunteering and helping out and driving, but that is what gives these young kids the motivation. And that's what helps them get through to this level. And you're seeing it. And then this junior series, youth series, also helps that motivation. Dida and that were kind of instrumental in getting this stuff off the ground years ago. And it is now turned into, a 2-stop or 3-stop tour. And, IWT involved with the PWA has got some smaller events going on. So I think we're definitely going the right way. Sometimes, things aren't perfect, but I feel we are going the right way. And this can only, like if you're a youth or a junior watching this, you'll be thinking, oh, that's something to head for. You've got this target. And there has been years gone by. And that's kind of why, Mr. Noor Finn is doing the live stream. It's why we're doing it, because it does make a difference. Having this as something to look forward to aim for, a goal to set yourself, makes a huge difference when you're a kid. I mean, that's why, as a kid, I went into the Olympic squad, the Olympic windsurfing, because there was a clear pathway. And back then, there wasn't really a wave sailing pathway. Not that I had access to waves back then, but, I can imagine if you sail on a wave beach and now you've got this like goal of turning up on the PWA one day, doing Pozo, maybe doing Clipmuller, or maybe in Australia, just, the regional events. It's definitely something that makes a huge difference. Again, feel free to let me know in the comments if you've got any views on that. Right, let's have a look at the comments. What have we got? We've got next week over 20 knots, but only 4 degrees C. Okay, that is cold. That is cold. Now, what do you call madman? Brew, my PP is not what I thought I was going to be. Sorry, I don't understand that. Apologies. Paul Kearns waiting for the ferry home from Tyree. Loads of wind this week here. I'm sure Tyree must be thumping. Obviously, Tyree Wave Classic must be starting soon as well. Yep, Seb Norris saying that the junior, the WA, which is Western Australia, obviously that youth group supported by Patrick and Severn. I know Patrick's been definitely putting in the hours over there. We've got Mark Henderson saying, hey, Ben, watching from Tyree Wave Classic. First wind in 2 weeks here. Oh, my God. First light wind. Oh, so they've had 2 weeks of goodness by the sounds of it. Great Ballard full day yesterday. BWA Future Pros are on today. That's good. I mean, obviously, BWA, British Wave Sailing Association, got the Future Pros. I know the mailing room have been supporting that and the Future Pros. So that's another, you know, those little initiatives and the guys that help support those things are massive. You know, without the guys coming up, you know, we're not going to have, well, we're not going to have a future. You know, you've got to get these guys into it. And there is so many sports going now, you know, and so many little temptations, let's say wing foiling, kiting, and, you know, other sports that are not on the water. Windsurfing ain't easy. You've got to be a certain mentality to stick with the windsurfing. You know, and the unit juniors and the youths need something to head for. They need to see the guys at the top living the dream. The guys at the top living the dream, you're like, wow, I want to be that. That's kind of when I was younger, looking up to people. So yeah, that's so, I mean, just in terms of windsurfing though, you know, enjoyment, you don't need that motivation because the enjoyment is enough. But if you want to go down a competition route, which usually is more organic, you just kind of morph into it. You don't go, right, I want to go and do that. Sometimes you just enjoy your windsurfing, you get good, and then it kind of morphs into that competition scene. Or well, it kind of did for me, especially with the wave sailing. I had no ambitions of being a wave sailor when you grew up in Shrewsbury in the middle of the UK. So yeah, mine was, like I said, it just kind of happened. Jacob saying waves look massive. And just to give you a bit of an idea, so we're sailing at the moment in Clipmuller. Well, not in Clipmuller, it's in cold Hawaii. So cold Hawaii is like, I think it's about 30 different beaches, I think they say, or something like that. And they are sailing in Handstone at the moment, and more specifically, a place called the Fish Factory. But it is in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, there's no fiber broadband or stuff like this. It's, I'm guessing they're doing it with satellite. So, you know, it isn't the easiest place to stream from. I'm impressed with getting the visuals that we're getting. So impressive stuff of Finn. And I'm glad his event got called off this weekend because it was too windy. It means he can actually do this. Martin says, great conditions for the triple forward. Call Ricardo Campello. You know what? This was mentioned, Handstone, not quite where they are now. The Fish Factory is more upwind. Middles, which is the sort of famous spot as well, which is downwind of here. I think it's probably too big for the juniors that we're talking about now. And there's a lot of water moving around. So they're now more upwind, where it's a little bit smaller. It's got a little bit of shelter from the wall, which is a little bit further up, and obviously there's a fish factory right behind. Not the most prettiest of smelling places, but when it's windy like this, you probably can't smell nothing. Okay, Jacob, if you are just tuning in, let me just update you. You're probably thinking, why is this guy not actually commenting on the heat? We don't have a heat at the moment. The first heat will start in 15 minutes time. It's going to be a 9-minute heat, 2 waves, 1 jump to count. We're sailing at middles, cold Hawaii, youth and junior world tour. It's the final stop on the tour. And this is where the world champions will be crowned. We've been told, we heard the briefing before, it's going to be under 20s who are on today. They're obviously the biggest riders. And look at the wind. I mean, when you see it like that on the stream, it's very hard to kind of realize actually how windy that is. The Tyree forecast is not good for the starting period with just 6 degrees. Oh my God. But they should have wind later in the week. Okay, that sounds pretty nippy. I won't lie. 6 degrees. That is cold. That is cold. And this is an interesting comment as well, because Martin saying, I wish I had the equipment when I was young. Love to see the young guys ripping. And it's true. I mean, you know, like it's a kind of it's a funny one, isn't it? It's like I find myself sounding like that old man that I laughed at when I was younger. In my day, I really feel like that. Like, but these kids don't know they've lived, do they? Don't know they were born. It's like, it's so good, the equipment now. Like, I think what I was using when I was, let's say 11 or something like that. Oh my God. I mean, the gear now is insane. If you are a kid watching this, you honestly don't know how lucky you are. There is so much cool equipment. I mean, don't get me wrong. My dad bought me a secondhand New Waves custom board from the son of Mr. New Waves. I think his name was Matt Jenkins. I don't. His dad wasn't called that, but the kid was. I remember reading about him in the magazine. This Matt Jenkins. He was like similar to my age, and he had this New Waves custom board from I think South Wales, or was it South Wales? Maybe someone can help me out. But it had 2 mast tracks because back in the day, the mast track was so far forward that he had this mast track put in behind it so he could get the rig further back. I was ahead of my time, or he was ahead of his time, and my dad bought the second-hand one. It fully delaminated, and we had to take it back, and then they sent us another one. I think it was actually a 245, which at the time was super small. Now a 245 is probably not that small, but it was kind of interesting. Like I say, now you can pretty much buy a production board which is like absolutely spot on if you're a youth or a junior. What have we got here? Let's have a look. We've got Rob saying Quinn from South Australia. He has no problem. These can South Australia. Okay. So yeah, because South Australia, I'm guessing you're talking not obviously not Western Australia, because that would be Western Australia, but South Australia. You don't hear of that much coming from there. Although, did someone tell me Ben Severn came from down there? Is that? And then he moved to Western Australia. Maybe Rob can help me out, because there was a few guys from South Australia who ended up moving to Western Australia, especially back in the day. I know Langy I think was one of them, one of the names from WA, if you've been around WA. Eduardo said gusts of 45 knots is already impressive. About exaggerating comments, many people, we prefer real measurements. Often that happen, said is real. I heard, honestly, that the forecast was for 60 knots. I bet that's what the forecast says. They said there's gusts of 50 knots at the briefing. I'm not exaggerating. It's just that's what I heard. It looks like the signal maybe is going a little bit sketchy over there. We are getting a bit pixelated on my screen anyway. I don't know what it's like for you guys. So that New Waves board was the bomb. Yeah, I remember getting serious airtime. Although I remember it as serious airtime. Bala Lake. Yeah, I had a wave board for Bala Lake. I was only little. Martin saying surfing now 40 plus years, first board 20 kilos, boom 2 meters, now riding the latest Nash windsurfing gears, 40 years too late, but loving every day. That's what we want to see though. I mean, that is the good thing. When you've grown up with that gear, you definitely appreciate the new gear. That makes a huge difference. Bill saying Severn Pyro goes down to 58 liters now. Yeah, so good, isn't it? So good. Ben's from Adelaide. Okay. My geography's not good, but that's South Australia. Oh, we've got some sound from the beach. Let's hope they know the sounds are. You never know. Oliveira saying, whoa, amazing conditions for the young guys to rip it up. Yep, we're starting soon. So we've got about 8 minutes, I guess, till the start of the first heat. We've got Urine saying, wish we had wind like this in Bali. I'm already frothing if it's 15 knots. Yeah, I guess it depends where you're from. But look at that. That's the conditions we've got. Let me have a look at the list then. So we've got boys under 20s, single elimination. It looks like we got Quinn from Australia in the first round. He's going against Marlon Mafna. And then we've got Samuel Ferrero, who we saw in Pozo from Italy, going against Hans Gobisch. So even in this early round, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be Heat A, 1A against 2A. Sorry, I'm doing this as I go. So yeah, that will be it. So it'll be Quinn from Australia against Marlon Mavners from Germany. So we're going to have the duotone. Marlon will be on the duotone. Obviously, Quinn will be on the Severn. And we got Samuel Ferrero on the Patrick, by the looks of it. And Hans Gobisch is going to be also on the duotone. So a couple of duotone riders, the German guys. And then the Aussie is Easy on the Severn and Samuel on the Patrick. So yeah, who's going to win? I mean, there's so many different categories. We haven't gone through them all, obviously, because they have been talking about the under-20s boys going on. But we've got under-17 boys. We've also got a few people. We got Carlos Kiefer's there. So, you know, all the top seeds. Arthur van der Branden is there. We've got Rui from Japan. He was pretty styling as well. So we're going to definitely go through to that. Will they get sailing today? I'm not sure. We've got loads of. We've got all the categories here. This is a full youth and junior fleet. Got Duotone supporting, says local lad Tobias Bjorner for the win. He's got to be top tip. This is his local spot. You know, if anyone knows the spot, Tobias Bjorner knows it really well. And it might come into play here because you need to know where you're riding. Whoa, look at that. Goose screw out the back. Tobias Bjorner, though, will need to win it. And he will need Liam Dunkerbeck to finish in third. So, you know, someone will have to take out Dunkerbeck, and then also Tobias will have to be on it. So it's going to be hard, but maybe you could get the event win, and that would be big anyway. We've also got, I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. If we've got both the brothers in this, apologies. I just want to make sure before I actually say it. Yeah, we've got Richter. Yeah, Anton Richter. So Richter is there, and watch out for him. This is pretty much his local spot as well, Anton Richter. So he's going to be on the Neil Pride, and we'll keep an eye on him too. Not long until we kick things off, just 5 minutes. Oh, wow. Look how windy that is, just off the top. So difficult to control. This is literally Storm Chase stuff we're watching here. Live Storm Chase stuff. It's not going to be easy to even complete rides. You know, are you going to have to back off properly? You don't want to go too full on. It's going to be, you've only got a 9-minute heat. You've got to get 2 waves. You know, the one jump might sound easy. It's just one jump. But when it's a little bit cross offshore, it's not so easy, I have to say. Some of the easier jumps become a little bit more tricky when it's a bit cross off because your whole angles change. Yeah, we might see a few one-handed cutbacks. Sometimes it's the easiest way just to open up the rig. Again, are we going to see sail numbers? Maybe not. So it might be tricky. It's going to be very tricky. Not long to go. Yeah, this inside bit looks super nice. If you've never been to cold Hawaii, it's definitely worth a trip, especially this time of year, you know, September, October. I'm not sure what it's been like this year, but usually it's pretty guaranteed to score some good conditions. We go, you know, small sails. That's what we're talking about. I'd like to get some, you know, on the duotone, I'm pretty sure the sail size is right on the top, but to me, it looks like we're talking 3 meters. It really does. Like some of the guys here, they are the really small ones. I don't know if anyone is there and wants to chip in the comments, any word from the beach. If you are just tuning in, just so you know, I am in Portugal, and these guys are obviously not. They're in Denmark. Duotone says Toby is on the green 3.0. Yeah, 3.0. And Hannes is on the black 3.4. So 3.0s, 3.4s. We're talking serious wind in Denmark right now. Pistachio, is that a color now? Pistachio. Crazy winds, says Nigel. I mean, absolutely bonkers, you got to say. Mateus saying thanks for streaming. Well, I've got to say it's thanks to Mr. Norstick. Norstick, Finn Nor from the Stream Factory is the guy doing the streaming. I'm just doing the talking. I guess I got the easy job. But it's going to be interesting to see this. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. If I wasn't commenting, I'd probably be watching anyway, just to see how the kids are doing. I say kids, like I say, most of them are bigger than me. They act older than me. So, not sure. Look at the sail. It's getting absolutely smashed. Was that a 3-4, did you say? I think 3-4. Wow. It is cranking. It's so difficult to ride when it's this windy. You've got to go small. You don't want too much power when it's like this. A little bit lighter, yeah, you might need more power. But when you've got too much power and the wind is like this, the wave isn't super easy to ride. So you kind of want to be not driving too hard, because the chop will affect you massively. Here we go. What's he got for us? We'll be starting the competition soon, probably much any minute, actually, looking at it. Small sails look so nervous. On and off with much current, water moving. You want some power to get out, I think. Yeah, that's the problem with the fish factory, with that cross offshore wind. It does make a difference. I mean, it's also, like I said, the conditions that the cameramen have got here. You can only imagine if you got 50 knots of wind. It's windy. It is windy. Like I said, some complaining saying I was overhyping it, but we're meant to get 60 knots today. I think it's meant to increase, as far as I know. And 60 knots obviously is a lot of wind. Are we going to get it? Who knows? Maybe one gust could be it. Oh, there we go. The famous Danish flag system. It's like run on. What is it run on? Like it's an automatic flag system. It's pretty impressive. If anyone has ever done the flags for your local competition, you will know what a rubbish job it is. Standing out there in the cold every minute, every whatever minute, making sure the flag's up, blah, blah, blah. They have got this. It's all tuned into an app. It's, it's like hydraulics, isn't it? It works like, it's amazing. It is so good. I mean, in the UK, actually, we've got like a light system, which is also cool. Maybe not so good in the very sunny stuff, but you can really see it, the light system, like a traffic lights, which also works super well. We got Tatoon saying, what do you put in the map to find this spot? If you put Handstone, maybe a Danish person can type it into the comments. Handstone, is that how you say it? Handstone? In Klipmuller. It's like Klipmuller and then look to the right, east of Klipmuller. Northeast a little bit. I'm sure someone can do a better job in the comments of explaining it, but we have got red flag up. First heat on the water is Quinn from Australia going against Marlon. Yeah, Marlon. And Samuel going against Hans Gobish. So Ferreira against Gobish. Matthias against Aldrich. That's not an Aussie name, is it? There we go. It's in the comments. If you stick that in the map, you will find it. Yeah, the fish factory is just the sort of upwind spot from Middles. I mean, it's literally a couple of 100 meters, I would say, 400 meters further up, or 500 meters or something like that. It's not far. Right, what we're going to see. I'm kind of excited because obviously things change when you get in competition. You know, all the warm-ups one thing, but in competition, 9 minutes, you might have to go a bit safer, but it's super windy. So how safe can you go? Probably not that safe. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a already croaking up. We haven't even started yet. Actually, I should be starting my rolling countdown, shouldn't I? There we go. Green flag is up. Bam. I don't think this guy's in the heat, is he? Or is he? Is this Aussie? Is this the Aussie Ripper? If it is, he's already ripping. He said he was on a Severn, so I'm guessing it's not. So, from what I'm understanding, this is Hans Gobish. Oh, got a nice little section here, just on the end of it. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to find those real steep nuggets. And with this much wind, you really are going to need to find the steep sections to turn you back in. Oh, sliding out. Oh, look at that. Driving. He looks big, doesn't he? Germany 31. That is Marlon. Is he? He's grown a bit since the last time I seen him. That's powerful. So Marlon on the pistachio duotone. Oh, crazy forward on the Patrick from wow, Ferrero or Ferrero Rocher. Samuel. Oh, this is the Aussie. This is the Aussie. Nice style. Oh, nice section. There we go. First, I bet he's had a bit of a baptism of fire. Although it's not that warm down in the South Australia, is it? I think it gets pretty cold down there. Yeah, there we go. Apocalyptic. Apocalyptic. Yeah, Antoine Albo once said that in Luderitz. I would agree. It's cranking, man. Can't believe someone moaned at me for overhyping it. I don't think you can realize how windy that is. Look how small that sail is. That's like probably a 340 mast, and it's sticking out the top of the sail, and he is really battling. Rick, he must have changed a bit of sponsors. This is Samuel Ferrero. He's got a good tabletop forward on him, but in these conditions, he's going to find that pretty tricky. Is it a haircut, or has he got a hat on? Because as far as I know, he's got long hair. Giblet says, looks cold. I would agree. Martin saying, I hope the young guns won't let go of their gear. Yeah, to catch it will be tricky. Here we go. What's he got for us? Oh, he's got a good style, hasn't he? Marlon. Wow, driving off that. Loads of spray. He's got another hit here. This is hard to do. He's aggressive. Love it. Good aggressive style. I think you've got to be in this sort of wind. I'll go back on what I said earlier, taking it easy. You've got to find those steeper sections. You've got to push off them. Looks like we're glitching out a little bit. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. My feed has definitely gone, so I hope you guys can hear me. But I said, it is very remote where Handstone is at the moment, but not quite sure what's happened. But it looks like we're glitching a little bit. Let's hope that's going to sort itself out. Again, I'm not quite sure how they're getting their internet connection on the beach. And we will try and get an update from the judges. I mean, that's the only thing we're going to be lacking here is that live scoring. I mean, we don't have it in Pozo either. So I really hope it's something the PWA can sort out for next year, because, you know, definitely to follow the competition, you really want to know who's leading coming into those last minutes. It makes a huge, huge difference. Oh, tried a little tabletop there. Got Tim Williams saying it does get cold in Western Australia. A couple of southerlies from the Antarctic, making it 3-7-4-0 weather. Okay, so Quinn might be quite used to that. Quinn won the state titles earlier this winter. He looks pretty handy from what we saw of him on that Severn. He had a good couple of turns. For people who are just tuning in, we've got Australia. He's going against Marlon. Marlon actually sailing really good. It's going to be a tough battle, that, between the Aussie and the German. On the other side of the draw, got Samuel Ferrero going against Hans Gobish. And this is Samuel Ferrero. Looks like he's been signed up to Patrick Sales since the summer. Here he is. This is Quinn. What's he got for us? He's had some good turns so far. It's 2 waves to count. Not a long wave, that one, though. Again, it looks like Ferrero's maybe struggling to find his rhythm, find out where that wave's breaking. And we're going to see that from Tobias Bjorn. Oh, it looks like he was going to ride then. Oh, I couldn't find it. That inside section. And it's going to change, no doubt, with the tide. Nice white water turn, but just goes off the back. So I'm going to try and get some scores from the judges. Another try at a tabletop. Oh, inside, here we go. Oh, it's difficult when it's that windy. You really got to get around it. Say Ferrero known for his tabletop forwards. Try another tabletop. Just look how windy it is. Crazy. Oh, someone is swimming. And that is not close, that gear, is it? That is not close. And 9 minutes will fly by. Absolutely fly by. I'm not sure if it's possible for them to get a countdown clock on the stream. But if not, I will at least set my watch up and I'll be calling you the times. Obviously, a 12-minute counter, 3-minute transition, 9-minute heat, 2 waves, 1 jump to count. Here we go. Samuel Ferreira trying to find that bit of the wave. So far, he's been struggling to find it. If you are just tuning in, this is the youth and juniors. Oh, Quinn getting backwinded from the top. It's definitely windy. Oh, there's a section. There's a section. Oh, it just wants to back loop. Like I said, I can't believe someone said I was overhyping it. This is so windy. I would be very surprised if it's not 50. You know, the guys are just not even able to take off. I mean, 40 is windy, and especially in Denmark. I mean, it's quite a dense wind up there. So I don't know what anyone thinks, but I did hear on the beach someone say 50 knots earlier, and the forecast was to get more. Here we go. Quinn from Australia. He's like, bloody hell, mate. Watch me smack this thing. Bang. Oh, go on, stay on. Good lad. This is going to be tricky. Yeah. Real bouncy inside whitewater. I mean, to sail in this is so difficult. You got no idea how much. Oh, lovely aerial. That's more like it from Ferrero. Oh, that's a beauty. That's, for me, that's the best scoring wave of the heat. Really nice. Oh, was that the end? Was that out of time? Well, that's the bit we're missing without the live scoring, because that was very interesting. A very good wave to finish. Was it in time? But Willem saying respect to for the boys out there. Yeah, massive respect. But that last wave was sick. Boys measure 24 meters per second. So I think knots, you double it. So that's 48 knots at the moment. And like I said, I heard it was meant to increase. So let's see. So any doubters out there, we've got pretty much 50 knot recorded wind speed at the moment. Does that record the highest gust? I'd be interested to know. Because usually there's a few random little spiky peaks. 48 knots. Denmark, 48 knots. That's super windy. We've got Mikkel saying, are they sailing at the fish factory? Yep, that's what I'm hearing. Sailing at the fish factory. Because say we are looking at the elimination to see who got through from that. What did we see? We saw Quinn from Australia going against Marlon. That was like a tight battle. Obviously, with 4 riders on the water, we don't see every move. So it's pretty much impossible for us to judge it like the judges would see it. But for me, both riders had some solid wave riding. Again, we didn't see the jump, so it could come down to who landed that jump. In cross offshore, 50 knot wind, that's difficult. So watch this space. And then we had Hans Gobish going against Samuel Ferreira. It looked like Gobish lost his gear. That's what it looked like to me. And Ferreira ended with that wave. Was that wave in time? That's what we've got to wait for. Yellow flag is up. Again, I'm going to try and set my timer here. I don't know if we can get the timer on the screen. Here we go. Okay. Let's have a look what we've got coming up in the next heat. I say I will update you as soon as I see who goes through that heat. Like I say, apologies, there's no live scoring. We were meant to be getting some updates. So far, I haven't had any. I won't lie. And I really hope we can sort that out, because that does make a big difference for you guys at home to understand exactly what is going on. Next heat on the water, we should have 2 riders. So we've got Laurent going against Lars Bubelak. Bubelak's going to be on the Gastra, and Lars, it says North Sails. So yeah, 2 riders. There we go. This is going to be easy. Oh, look at that. Bam! Love it. That was nice. That is the way you want to start the heat. GPE. Oh, okay. So this is that Guadeloupe? Guadeloupe. Well, this is I mean, this will be totally different to what he's used to, but it is down the line riding. You know, Guadeloupe, obviously we've seen, I'm sure that's Guadeloupe. Maybe someone make sure that it is Guadeloupe before I go off on a tangent here. But, you know, he will be used to down the line riding, not with a 3-0 and not with this sort of cold wind. But you could see by that hit, he knows how to hit something. He really does. Here we go. We got Bubelak on the inside. Oh, I just missed the section there. Just went a bit flat on him. Got Paul Jones saying Windsurfing.TV. Oh, no, sorry. We've got Tyke saying Windsurf.TV storm chase. It totally is. Paul Jones saying looking a bit fruity out there. It definitely is. Is there anywhere we can see the heat ladders? There is a Google Docs. I don't know if I'm allowed to send that out. Maybe I am, but I'm not sure if it's just for my use. Little tabletop there from Laurent. Massimo saying wind direction looks tricky. It's difficult for jumping. It's the worst, which is why they've only got 1 jump. 2 waves, 1 jump to count. So, yeah, Guadeloupe in action. Wow. Penny for his thoughts right now. He's probably like, what the hell's this? Oh, my God. Yeah. But I tell you what, it was a good first hit. So still waiting for those scores to come in. We still haven't heard scores from that first round yet. I will bring you them as soon as I see that Google Doc get updated. Okay, so it looks like Samuel Ferreira going through, and it is Marlon going through as well. That would make sense because Hans, well, we didn't see Gobish. He lost his gear for a bit, and that was super close between the Aussie and Marlon. And it looks like in the end, Marlon got it. Good showing here from Guadalupe, though. Like I said, this is probably not out of his comfort zone, I would say. A little bit chiller than he's used to. Oh, Bubalak trying to get the backy. So much wind. We got Rush Wars saying, are you there? I am actually still in Portugal. I am just watching it with you guys, giving you some vocals. But yeah, I'm still in my shorts and T-shirt here in Portugal. It looks pretty crazy there. Best comment so far. James Bond said, I got bigger Y fronts than those sails. For anyone who doesn't know, he's got bigger pants than those sails. We're talking 3-meter sails right now. You know, it is cranking. Laurent, has he got the backy? Oh, I thought he got it. Just couldn't quite get the landing. But that was a decent effort. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to get the PWA going to update on the comments. That's perfect. So Marlon Mathers advances. What would be really good is if the PWA could put some scores in the comments, and then we can put them on the screen. I don't know who's in charge of that account, but that would be amazing. At least some halfway scores, or who's leading the heat so far, and I can just add them to the stream. And Samuel Ferreira advances. Tatoon saying looks like surviving rather than sailing. Is that what he says? Yeah, surviving rather than competing. This is brutal. You know what I mean? At youth level, you can just see these guys are surviving. This is storm chase shit right here. There's no two ways about it. This is battling. You know how windy it looks on the stream. You can see just going in a straight line. Bring back that guy who told me I was hammering it up. This is so windy. This is scary. If it looks windy on the stream, it's way more windy than you can kind of realize. We got Martin said, can they stop the heat for too much wind? Here we go. Boo Black. What's he got for us? Go on, son. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Oh, he couldn't hold the bottom turn. Wave didn't jack up as he predicted, and he was caught in that kind of no man's land. Tacking in a storm, says Bomb Squid. Here we go. Laurent from Guadalupe. He's had a good showing so far. Really good vert hits. Again, it's probably a new spot for him. So that does make a difference. It isn't easy. I know Bubalak obviously sailed here before. And these guys got 9 minutes. It'll go very fast in these conditions. You cannot lose your gear, as someone said earlier, or your heat is probably over. You've got to get your safe wave in, you know, maybe try and get a jump in, and then maybe you can cut loose a little bit on your second wave. But pretty much, if you get 2 solid-ish waves and a half-decent jump, you're probably doing well. It's tactical sailing. It's not just go crazy and hope it works out. You've got to sail this pretty safe because you can't afford a mistake with 9-minute heats. Here we go. Bubalak on the inside, on the right-hand side, on the Gastra, having another go at it. So, it's a whitewater section, really difficult to handle. The board not skipping out. 1 minute to go. So 1 minute to go. That's how we're looking. I would say the advantage is with Laurent from Guadalupe at the moment, but I'm not the judges. I'm not the judge, I should say. But from what we've seen on the screen, I think his wave riding looked pretty decent. I think he had a tabletop in there. And Bublak still hasn't had the big jump. If he got a big jump in, could that change things? Yes. He would need another wave as well. Okay. Oh, there's a forward from Bublak. Super flat landing. Oh, that didn't look entirely what he was hoping for. Yeah, I've got about 10 seconds to go in this heat. I don't know if we can get the red flag on the shot because it would help me just to get synced in. Well, I'm getting this heat is over. I'm pretty sure we've seen the end of this heat. It's a 9-minute heat, 2 waves, 1 jump. Yeah, red flag is up. So end of the heat. From what we saw, Laurent from Guadeloupe had the best of it. Again, did we see everything? Well, in theory, we should have. There's 2 riders out there. Okay, we'll wait for that yellow flag to come up and then we'll be totally in sync. The yellow flag is 1 minute until the start. We got Mikkel saying, looks like carnage on the outer reef. Has anyone tried to hit it? I'm sure someone's down in middles. There's probably a lot of water moving around. It's a difficult thing. 27 water and 30 air. That's definitely not clip mother, that's for sure. That's the conditions we've got. But he's saying Laurent normally sails in boardies and a rash vest, Caribbean, maybe fighting the cold as much as the wind. Just checking his Facebook page. He looks organized for this event. I'm sure he is on it. I'm sure he's got, I mean, there's a lot of good riders come out of Guadeloupe, so he knows the deal, you know. He will definitely know the deal. You know, Camille Ban, Antoine Martin, you know, to name a few. In these conditions, 2 jumps, 1 wave would be more fun. It really wouldn't. It really wouldn't. I'll explain in a second that they have put 2 waves, 1 jump for the fact that it is very difficult to jump at the moment. The wind is cross offshore. If it was cross shore, cross on, yeah, whole different ball game. But with it being cross offshore, when you've got 50 knot gusts, you know, it's really difficult. The back loop becomes way harder because you get more powered up on the way down and it becomes way harder to land. The forward loop, as you take off, you're already really off the wind. So then you can end up going more endo. So jumps become way, way more tricky. In my experience, which is quite a lot in these conditions, I would say. And it is Laurent. Laurent does advance to the next round. And guess who he gets in the next round? He will get Liam Dunkerbeck. Ouch. That's not an easy draw, but that's how it works. Next up, we're going to have Marlon Mavenus going against Oliver Defonge from Australia. God, they got 3 Aussies over there. Good to see that. We got Samuel Ferrero going against Jake Geraghty from Australia as well. So 2 Aussies in this. Obviously, the Aussies, guess what? They're on Severns. Ferrero, we've already seen on the Patrick, and Marlon is on the other one. And we have started the heat. Oh, just goes down. Ferrero. So, Marlon on the duotone, the green duotone. We're going to have to try and work out which Aussie is which. Oz 99 is Jake. And it doesn't look like Oliver's got a sail number. Or are we doing man on man? Maybe we're doing man on man. No, we can't be. Tabletop. Oh, man, it's so windy on the inside. Marlon's got power, hasn't he? I remember him when he did one of his first ever ones. He looked quite a small, nipper. He's obviously like people do get older. He looks a bit heavier now. Looks like he's got some power to him. Well, interestingly, there is meant to be 4 riders in this heat. The 2 Aussies on the Severns, not seeing at the moment. Oh, there's some sets. It is absolutely nuking. Yeah, I would agree. Michael says it's nuking. It is. There we go. There's one of the Aussies. Here we go. Ferrero. It looks like we're struggling the connection here. Here we go. Is this Jake on the Severn? Trying to line something up. Ferrero on the inside. Nice. That looked really controlled. Yeah, Jake, I'm hearing, is the son of Jane Seaman. Bam. He's definitely, I've seen him sailing at Margie's and stuff. The guy's got some skills, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure that's Jake on the white sail, but again, at the moment, we only got, they're on Severns. This is Marlon on the green duotone. I think it's like a 3-0 or something. Ridiculous, really windy. Here we go. Driving in, trying to find a section. Didn't really sit up for him there. He would have hoped for a bit more wall. Yeah, it's definitely getting a bit pixely for me. So these guys are in the middle of nowhere pretty much. Some pretty hardcore conditions for the live crew to deal with, but great to see the pictures coming from Denmark. I mean, especially for the Aussies and stuff, there'd be people watching who wouldn't be able to see this forward loop, Jake. Oh, it just goes down on the landing. I just need to confirm that is Jake on the white sail. Yeah, it looks like the signal's kind of coming in and out. Pretty much halfway through this heat, Ferrero seems to be taking a bit more cautious route. Maybe that's the way to go, just trying to pick out those. Looks quite in control. Although that didn't quite work out for him there. Just missed the section. That's unfortunate. Oh, good turn from Marlon. Like I said, from what I've seen today, he's got some serious power, this fella. Good wave. In these conditions, from what we've seen so far, and that's kind of what we've got to judge it off. We're not judging what they're capable of in easy 4-5 weather, really set up. This is storm, choppy, windy, crazy, so the level of what you're expecting definitely changes. So we kind of judging off what we've seen so far. I said Marlon looks, he's looked pretty good so far. Oh, big catapult there, I think, from Oliver. Is JC at the spot taking pictures? I don't think it is. I think someone said it was Brian who was taking the pictures, but again, someone has to confirm that. Peak today, 11:50, 39 knots, 52 knot gust. There we go. So over 50 knots, 52 knots. I'll have to change the thumbnail. Someone told me 60 when I was trying to get ready this morning. 52, 60. It's a much difference. I don't know if there is, you know, when you get that windy. Oh, Ferreira. Oh, God, that looked really nasty at the ends. His feet were still in. Excuse my lady streams there. They were quite high pitched, but that looked pretty brutal. Yeah, I'm just looking at the comments coming through, but Paul said it'd be interesting to see what Liam Dunkerbeck handles his jumping like in these conditions. I think with it being cross off, it is difficult. And, you know, forget that it's 52 knot gusts out there. Oh, that's good. Good, just drops off the back. Yeah, Laurent is official now. He is advanced to the next round. Again, like I said, goes against Liam Dunkerbeck in that next round. If you are just tuning in, the guys are over in Denmark doing the last stop on the IWT PWA Youth World Tour. We will be crowning a world champion. I'm sitting in Portugal right now, watching it with you guys, just giving you some comments for the live stream. And it is brutal. Absolutely brutal, pretty much survival, you know, and it is meant to get windier. That's what they're saying. That's the crazy thing about today. God knows how the cameramen are actually filming this. Say it's in the middle of nowhere. It's probably raining. We've got 50 odd knots of wind trying to hold the camera. Then the guys are struggling to even get out. This is pure survival, but there is a skill to sailing in these conditions, and that's pretty much what we're finding out. This guy's not in the heat, this one. He's just some guy out on a free ride session. I was gonna say a fun session. Okay, Samuel Ferrero. I think we've got about 20 seconds left in this heat. So we might see some going off here. There's not long to go. He's going to try a jump because there's not long left. That's a better tabletop. I mean, you never know. Sometimes that can be the difference. It really can. Ferrero going against Jake Gerety. Oh, and a back loop right at the end. Again, so difficult. So difficult to get the landings with this cross offshore wind. Didn't see, I mean, with 4 riders, it really is difficult. I think, again, for the live stream, it's always better when we've got 2 riders. But with winds set to increase today, I think they're just trying to get through it because you never know what next week's going to bring. I think the plan would be to do a double elimination. We've got Paul saying it's a great opportunity for these young sailors to gain experience competing in these conditions and what it takes to advance through heats. Again, it's not what they would have been hoping for. They would have been hoping for dreamy down the line, which Clipmuller can produce. And there's no, you know, we might get that later on in the week, but how can you not sail when you have got wind like this? You know, it's just a different skill set. I feel the same when it's light winds as well. Some people moaning, you know, some people like light winds. That's what they're good at. We saw it in Silt with the women, you know, certain people watching the live stream was like float and ride. They didn't understand it. It's like, well, they're not planing. You can't do this. But wave riding, light winds, some people love it. And why should you take it away from them to perform? It can't always be crazy wind. And the same with this. This is extreme, almost survival conditions. Who can make it count? You know, that's the beauty of competition. We're not trying to find the best sailor in the best conditions. We're trying to find the best sailor at that location at that time. That's why competition is exciting. You can't always plan for it. You don't know what you're going to get. Again, maybe not everyone agrees with that, but that's how I've always looked at competition. You know, you don't always have the best because you can't choose what you get. So you have to deal with whatever you get, and the best rider on that day at that time in that heat will be the one that advances. You know, in normal freesailing, maybe they're not the best sailor, but it's about putting it down in that heat. Okay, a minute to go to the start of this heat, and we will update you on who gets through. Olivia is saying, hey Ben, what are the easiest jumps to land with cross offshore winds? You know what? 50 knots. It's really hard to pick. I personally would go for a push loop. You know, it's you can do it when it's absolutely mega windy. I would be favoring the push loop. You can slightly over rotate and it's not the end of the world. You know, back loop can be really tricky because you load up on the way down. Forward loop, again, in this type of wind can be crazy. So I would kind of favor the push loop. You can see a lot of the boys are going for the tabletop. Again, tabletop should be, but with this much breeze, and if you don't practice tabletops, not many of the riders practice tabletops. They just put it out in the competition. I apologize for the pixelating stream. I'm not quite sure if this is just, I guess, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing it's the signal from their side coming through. Okay, who have we got on the water? Obviously, Laurent on the North Sail going against Liam Dunkerbeck on the Red Severn. Results is Marlon goes through to the next round, so takes down Ferrero. He had some powerful turns, didn't he? Ooh, little air on that inside. I think that is that Marlon finishing up? No. We've also got our first look at Anton Richter. Difficult heat for Tobias Bjorner in this. So Tobias Bjorner, maybe that was Tobias, sorry, going against Anton Richter in this, and Laurent going against Dunkerbeck. So super stacked heat. We obviously got 4 riders out there in difficult conditions. It's going to be hard to see, but these riders are fully top riders. I'm expecting this to be a hell of a heat. It's going to be very difficult. Tobias Bjorner against Anton Richter. That's big. Both sail here quite a lot. Obviously, Tobias Bjorner, this is his local spot. But Anton Richter, you know, Northern Germany, he will know how to sail here. Also, we've got Marlon advancing and Samuel Ferrero. So, unfortunately, the Aussies have been taken out by the Euros. But they will be coming back for more in the double elimination, no doubt about it. So here we go, Anton Richter. Like I said, he's a big fella, Anton Richter, as well. Much bigger. He was lining up a wave there. I don't know if we're going to see that wave, because I don't think we're going to have much action out that back. There we go. Inside hit. Manages to stay on, stay with him to the inside. We've got Liam Dunkerbeck behind, but this is a good start to the heat as Liam Dunkerbeck goes down on his first hit. Super tricky conditions. I know I'm going to keep saying it, but it's hard not to. So difficult. Could Laurent take down Dunkerbeck? From what I've seen on his wave riding, he definitely could. You know, in these type of conditions, you've got to find a way. Wow, we are really pixeling out. I'm going to have a word with the boys to see what's happening over there and if we can do anything about that. Wow, it's almost unwatchable. Not quite sure what is going on there. Yeah, that's the difference. I just wanted to see the clarity. Okay, so hopefully we can sort that feed coming in. Again, it's obviously to do with where those guys are positioned and maybe the bandwidth, but it's pretty pixelated. It's been glitching in and out. Maybe the wind's blowing away the bandwidth as we speak. Okay, Tobias Bjorner, Anton Richter. Big heat this. Like, you can't play this down. This is whether you make the finals or not. Not easy. I think this was one of the early rounds. Oh, there we go. Tobias Bjorner looking in pretty good form. He's had that little aerial earlier. That's not such a good wave. It's flattening out on him. Liam Dunkerbeck out the back. A little bit of a tail slide. So difficult to pitch. Oh, whitewater is going to be difficult for him to manage. On the inside, Tobias Bjorner, that looks good. And Anava, he looks in good form, doesn't he? He does look like he kind of reads the spot really well. And Liam Dunkerbeck off the back of a wave. Apparently the sun's coming out very soon, says Virgil. That will definitely make a difference. Bit of sun. 50 knots, brain freeze, and a rainbow. Must be lovely out there. Say, the rainbow only comes when it's raining. You can't always see it on the stream, but here we go, Anton Richter. Trying to manage in that white water. Needs to find a wall. That white water's hard to ride. He's done well, though, there, just to get that turn in. And now he needs to wall up. Get some spray going on. He's going to get that double up. This can be good for the inside for Richter. Keep your eye on him as Dunkerbeck finds a little nug. This is good heat, this. All the riders going well. Little tap on that inside. Making the most of the crazy conditions. Here we go. Laurent, what's he got for us? Can he find that big hit? Oh, that looks just a little bit early. Oh, forward loop off the lip. Storm chase, cold Hawaii style. That is how the conditions look on the wide. I think actually when some of the guys are riding, we can probably go wide-ish if there's someone behind. I don't know how possible that would be. Just to kind of get an overview of where they're riding. Look at that inside section there. That's the money right there. You can see on the inside, pretty light. There's Tobias Bjorner, heads out. We got Rasmus saying Liam's riding is just a step ahead. Also, his board turns much tighter. Is it the board or is it the rider? In these conditions, you never know. You know, it's so difficult. You've definitely got to pick the right equipment. That's for sure. There we go. Bush loop. There we go. That's kind of the more safe move to do. So Liam Dunkerbeck, that's the first probably decent jump we've seen landed, actually. Really bolt upright. Yeah, picture's definitely got a bit better now. Again, like I said, the stream we're getting in, we're just broadcasting what we're getting in, but it is changing. Obviously, conditions when you're kind of in the middle of nowhere does change by the looks of it. Got not long left in this heat, a couple of minutes left, or here we go. What else are we going to see? Some more jumps. This is a great shot. We might see some jumps because we're getting towards the end. Got Tobias Bjorner. I'm sure most of them would have landed jumps by now. Again, 4 riders out in the wall. It's difficult to kind of say. Here we go. Anton Richter on the Neil Pride against Tobias Bjorner. We've seen some good waves from Tobias Bjorner. Haven't really seen the jumps from those guys, but again, not to say they haven't done them, but we didn't see them on the stream. Here we go. This is jacking up nice. Richter near the end of this heat. Look at this thing. Oh, just backed off on him. Nothing worse than being mega powered up and you've got no wall to press off. All that power's got to go somewhere and you end up having to kind of turn on the flat water. That's better. Tobias Bjorner looking good here. I'd be surprised if Richter's took him down. From what we've seen on the stream, Tobias Bjorner has had some really good waves in this. Definitely using local knowledge, that's for sure. Dunkerbeck as well, from what we've seen on the screen. Oh, this is better. This is what you want. You want a wall. Much easier when you've got a wall to wave ride. Laurent, can he do something at the end of this heat? Oh, tries to goiter. Oh, unlucky. Marketing strategy says this actually looks rideable. He's not surprised. It's actually rideable. Liam Dunkerbeck, big stall forward. I think you missed it. I definitely missed it. Sorry. So I'm guessing that's end of the heat. How many days is the competition? It's a week long, as far as I know. I think it finishes next Friday. Forecast for these 2 days, especially the weekend days, is pretty windy, I think. Pretty windy is maybe an understatement. It's pretty cranking. And then next week, I think it's almost too far away. In Denmark, I don't think it's worth looking at forecasts any longer than 2 days away. Because things move pretty quickly up there just to where it is. In my experience, anyway, if someone wants to chip in local knowledge, feel free. But in my experience, that's usually not to get too carried away because things can change very quickly. But usually after a storm like this, you might get some real fun days. Like there could be some kind of little bit lighter, obviously, but still some waves around. And that can prove to be some epic wave sailing. So this is kind of storm, and then we could see the double elimination happen in some lighter, more, you know, down the line conditions. Yeah, but who knows? Okay, so advancing through, we've got Marlon Mavner, what we saw a bit earlier, and Samuel Ferreira. They're going to be in the one side of the semi-final. And then the other side of the semi-final, I already see a name through. And it's actually not the name I thought of watching the stream. I can't confirm yet, but at the moment, it looks like Anton Richter has taken down Tobias Bjorner. I will confirm when that's official, but he is already through. That could mean that Anton Richter landed his jumper, maybe Tobias didn't, which meant it was just an easy adding up thing and his name's gone in early. It could be something else, but I will tell you as soon as that is official. But we have got Samuel Ferrero on the water right now, and it's going to be a two-man heat going against Marlon. Marlon obviously on the green duotone, and Ferrero on the Patrick. So this should be man-on-man heats. Oh, no. Okay, that name has been removed. So it could have just been a glitch on the Google Docs. So, again, it was not what we saw on the live. It doesn't mean we saw everything. So I will update you on this. But man-on-man heat. We're already in the semi-finals. So we've got this heat, next heat, and then we'll have runners-up final. So we're not far off getting straight through to the pointy end. Hello. Yeah, hello, Matt. Yeah, the weather here in Denmark is crazy. If you look further than 2 days in the forecast, you should keep in mind that it can be 10 knots more or less and a different direction. Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. That's not helping. I'm kidding. Okay, Ferrero Rocher. Ferreira. Actually, is it Ferrero Rocher? No wonder. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Gets it nice up in the steep section. got to push it around there. See, it's light on that inside. When you've got such small sails, you only need a little bit of a hole and it instantly goes super light. Anyone who's sailed in those stormy, gusty conditions will obviously know that. There's probably some people around in the world, maybe even watching this, who have never sailed in this much wind. Anyone out there never sailed in like a 50-knot storm, 45, 50-knot storm? I'm sure there must be a few. Or maybe not. Ferrero on the outside. He's picking up some speed. Check the right-hand screen. Is he going to get the ramp? I think he is. This is the one. It's big. It's a backy. Does he stick it? He does. He does stick the backy on the inside. Marlon. Oh, gets a nice tap on the white water. Not easy. It's a little bit late for that section, but making it count. There we go. The results have just been updated, and we know who is officially through from the last heat. And I would say it's gone with pretty much who we thought watching the live stream. That makes more sense. Tobias Bjorn advances. It's kind of what we saw in the stream. He had some really solid riding. I think he deserved that, definitely. Anton Richter, again, a good go by him, but Tobias just looked really comfortable. I was kind of surprised when I thought it must be something up. And Liam Dunkerbeck advances to the next round. So storming, literally storming through. But these two are going to go against each other in this semi-final. And that is a big heat because, as I said to you, in Pozo, Liam Dunkerbeck finished first and Tobias finished third. So Tobias will need to finish first here, and Liam will need to finish third for him to have a win to win the world title, let's say, in the youth category. So it's actually better for Tobias if he has Liam in the semi-final. You know, whether you think that should be a final or not is irrelevant. Actually, for Tobias, it's way better because he can now take out Liam in the semi, win the final, and Liam can't get better than a third without the double elimination. So it's kind of more in his hands. If he has to rely on someone else knocking Liam out, it's way more difficult. So for Tobias Bjorn, this is actually really good news. Not so much for Liam Dunkerbeck, but Liam Dunkerbeck is not an easy competitor, but he will see Tobias as probably his main threat, especially because it's Tobias's local beach, Clipmuller. Here we go, Marlon. We've already had a back loop landed from Ferrero, which is not easy in these conditions. It will score well. Marlon's been hammering this inside section. Oh, just to make it count. Not an easy section to navigate that. He's impressed me, actually, Marlon. I seem to remember him used to be on hot sails. It was a long time ago. Again, he was quite a small fella, but I remember him landing back loops, I think in his heat. Maybe even took the title, like under 15s title years ago. Ferrero on the inside. Can he back up that back loop with a wave? No. So comes out empty-handed. Oh, that must have been a big gust because they both went down at exactly the same time. Yeah, not easy. And then you're going to get smashed a little bit in the shore break. There we go. So Ferrero's got that back loop in. Are we going to see him attempt another jump? I would say not. There's no point in risking it. 9-minute heat. Ooh. Oh, is he on the wall? Wow. Wow. That is obviously not good. Especially when you get a massive wave like that. Oh my God. Are we seeing some serious carnage right now? Marlon is really in a bad spot here. Wow, I didn't even realize that was there. He's got washed totally over the breakwater. Oh dear. Ferrero needs to take advantage of this. He's had the back loop. That's a good smack. And Marlon is getting absolutely smashed down that bottom end. And Ferrero, oh, he's just gone down that last turn. But yeah, that's what happens in these storm winds. One mistake, and that was just a catapult on the way out that caused that whole, thing to play out. Oh, you got to feel for him. We're not talking, men pros where you get given all the gear and everything's free, and this is youth level. Yes, you want to win a heat, but it's not like the guys that you see get smashed on the rocks at keeper and they're like, yeah, whatever, go to the van, get another mast or something, so you really don't want to see this happen. Let's hope all his gears still intact. It should be 2 ways, 1 jump, unless they've changed it. It's cross offshore winds. So 1 jump, 2 waves to count. We're at the semi-final stages. This is to decide who goes into the final. So far, it's looking like Ferrero has had the better of this. He's had that back loop already. We have seen some good waves from Marlon already. So, but has he got the jump in? Not that we've seen. We should see him jump on this run. How far down is he? Well, 2 riders out there. I'm sure the judges are keeping a close eye on this. But maybe the advantage at the moment, as we get towards the end of this heat, is with Ferrero. Marlon is really far downwind now. He's about a bit of a beating over that breakwater. And meanwhile, Ferrero's been racking up the points up here. He might make his way into his first final. Oh, couldn't quite make it count. I'm pretty sure we're into the last minute here. Marlon needs something special. Is he too far downwind? Because in theory, he should be next to that breakwater again. He's going for it. Oh, he's there next to the... Yeah, he's really far downwind. You've got to say, Ferrero, surely... Unless Marlon did enough before that. Can we have a look at the flags? Because I reckon the red flag could be coming up any second. Yep, there we go. Red flag is up. So that is the end of the heat. Next up, we've got Tobias Bjorner going against Liam Dunkerbeck, and this could be a heat which has a big say in that world title race for the under-20s. Bill says at the briefing, they said judges cannot see beyond the breakwater. Again, when there's 4 riders, yes. Maybe when there's 2, it's a bit easier, but it does look like Ferrero has got that one. There we go. Tobias Bjorner on the green duotone. Liam Dunkerbeck on the red Severn. This is the semi-finals. Winner of this goes into the final and probably goes into the lead in the overalls, although they did do a double elimination in Pozo. And as far as I know, that counts for more than a single elimination. So it could still be advantage to Liam Dunkerbeck. I'd need to get confirmation on that, though. Here we go. Martin, no worries. Watching the storm chase, under-20s. This is the best under-20s in the world. This is to see who goes to the final. We are at survival conditions. Yes, Jos, this is in Klitmøller. So we are in Denmark, cold Hawaii. It's not actually Klitmøller officially. Klitmøller's just up the road a little bit. This is a place called Handstone, and they're sailing at a spot called the Fish Factory. If anyone's ever been to, the cold Hawaii area, you will obviously know the Fish Factory. It is howling today. We've had gusts of 52 knots, I think. So over 50 knots of wind in the gusts. A steady 40 knots, I think, is like the mean average. Okay, we've got about 45 seconds until the start. My watch is correct. Is this Middles? No, Middles is about a few hundred meters down. There's some sort of interference with my sound, really. Has that just started? Let me know how my sound is. Oh, there we go. Marlon advances into the winner's final. So he must have done enough before he ended up on that breakwater. Like I said, you never can tell sometimes. I can mute the mic maybe from the other one. Is that better? From the, maybe that's the interference you're hearing. I've tried to mute the sound from, oh, big rocket into back loop from Liam Dunkerbeck. So Marlon goes through to the next round. That's interesting. Sound is good. Sound is fine. Sound is good. Okay. Sound is good. Here we go. Tobias Bjorner. This is a good wave to start the heat. Like again, this is for world title stuff, and then pops a little aerial. Oh, just gets smashed on that inside. That would have been a hell of a way to start the heat. That little aerial at the end would have been way good. Okay, I'm going to mute the sound on the feed I'm getting in. Maybe that's the difference. Like I said, I'll see how it gets, but just let me know, because it's, again, I'm not with the studio or over there in Clipwell. I'm still in Portugal. Back loop. Oh, lovely. Tobias Bjorner, back loop, straight in. Interesting heat, this. Super interesting. Okay, there we go. So who's your money on? Tobias Bjorner, Liam Dunkerbeck. Who's going to make the final? Winner of this will go into the final and going against Marlon. Marlon been ripping today. You could see it early doors. He has got a really powerful style. He obviously sails up here a lot, I'm sure, in Clipmuller. And yeah, he looks on form. Looks on form. So who's going to join him? And this could be a final. There's no doubt about it. Just the way the seeding worked out. Liam Dunkerbeck definitely got a tough one here. But if he wants to be the world champion, he's got to beat the fella on the left-hand screen. 9 minutes, 2 waves, 1 jump to count. Liam Dunkerbeck comes to the inside jibe, so still looking for his jump by the looks of it. Tobias Bjorner has got his back loop in, which is a solid way to start the heat, and now just picking up the waves, and he knows where to be. I mean, if he'd have made that aerial on the first wave, he was looking in really control of this heat. Dunkerbeck's got a chance. No, just a rocket. Tobias still riding. I think we should have like a viewer's vote. Which way is the heat looking at the moment? To me, advantage Tobias Bjorner. Duotone team obviously supporting their man. Go on, Toby. We need like one of those like clapometers where the needle starts in the middle and then it sways towards one rider as it's going through. The viewers vote. Maybe I should put a poll on YouTube. Oh, nice turn. Oh, Dunkerbeck. Full fins out. I mean, that thing was near enough all the way around. Is that wave going to jack up for him? Give him another opportunity. He really wants that little steep section on the inside. That would give him the big scores. There's 1 turn, so he's already had a couple. This is actually really nice wave from Liam Dunkerbeck. And it looks like he's going to finish it off on the inside. Bash. Great stuff from Liam Dunkerbeck. Just jibing, just upwind from that breakwater. And we know what that breakwater can do. Which way? Has that swung it back the other way yet? Have we seen a jump from Liam Dunkerbeck? I don't think we have we? Not a landed jump. So keep your eye on the red sail of Liam Dunkerbeck. He still needs to get that jump in. He's had a decent wave. We've seen a couple of all right waves from Toby. Again, that little area at the beginning, that could be the difference. If he'd got it, I think he'd be sitting in a good position right now. Dunkerbeck on the outside. He's got something. He wants it. Back loop. Oh, that's going to be difficult to land. And it is. Gets smashed out on the landing. Toby on the inside. Vertical hit. That looked nice. Again, he's already got his jump in. And this is a beautiful looking wave. Little pop aerial. He's really got this wave down, hasn't he? He gets those nice vert hits in. And then kind of like not a straight line, but like a high line. Little pop aerial towards the end. And I think that's looking good tactics at the moment. Go, Liam. We're hearing on the chat. Much better wave ride. How does it compare, though? Tobias just throwing down that. He's already got the jump in. 2 waves, 1 jump. 9-minute heat. This is Klipmuller. Handstone. The Fish Factory. This is the under-20s world title. On the line, maybe. Liam Dunkerbeck needs a jump. He cannot finish this heat without a jump. So keep your eye on him down that bottom screen. He's lined something up. I'm sure we're going to see a push loop. No. Forward loop. Stall forward. It's a little bit wet and overcooked, but he sails away. The sail was still flying. Was it his best landing? No. Was it a counting jump? Yes. Makes a big difference. If he hadn't have got that, could be in all sorts of trouble. Ian Ross on the chat saying it's good to watch these events. Ben talking us through it. Thanks, man. Good to see you tuning in. I say these are the future of the sport, no doubt about it. These are the guys that are going to be, well, they're already in the main fleet. I mean, Liam Dunkerbeck, Tobias Bjorner. I'd like to see him entering more of the men's events. But no doubt we're going to see that. Green flag is still up. From what we've seen, where's this heat going? It's the question. I think we've got 2 minutes left in this heat. 2 minutes left. Oh, there's some big sets coming through as Tobias heads out. Does Liam need another wave? I mean, he's had one decent wave. What was his other wave like? Without writing it down, it's very easy to get slightly confused, I would say. 1 minute 30 on the clock. Tobias Bjorner really needs to find a decent setup. We know what he can do, but he's got to find the right wave to be able to do it. That's not it. Jibes out. Got Matteo saying, what rad conditions. I got stuck in Italy with an exam. That's the problem when you're a youth. You have to do school. Got to get the education, boys and girls, before you can rip it up. It's so difficult, I guess, planning these events. Okay, here we go. We have really not got long now. We have got about 45 seconds to go, and the boys are struggling to find the waves. Where is this going? We've got Duotone saying Tobias is only 17 years old. Yes, he has got a big future. He's still super young. And Dunkerbeck has gone down with 25 seconds to go. Tobias might get the last chance here. His body language sort of says this wave ain't great, but he's going to try and find something to hit. He's kind of stalling upwind. I think we're going to see an aerial because he's definitely stalling it. It's not one of the biggest ones. He knows time's run out. 5 seconds to go. He's going to make the most of it. Oh, actually, that's lined up nicely. He knows how to ride this wave, doesn't he? Just his lines are really good. Really terrible wave, but a good, he's rode it well. As Dunkerbeck does get a wave before the end, and this could be the difference. This could be the difference. That wave at the end from Dunkerbeck might be the difference to whether he would have got through or not. We did see a better jump, I would say, from Tobias. It was a cleanly landed back loop. The forward loop from Liam was decent height. It's a forward loop in those conditions, tricky, but on the judging scale, the back loop is worth more. The landing was definitely better than from Tobias on a more technical jump. Again, that wave ride, I would say from Liam was the best wave ride, but what was his other wave ride? What was his backup wave like? There's 2 waves, 1 jump. We will have to wait for the judges to find out, because the end of the heat, it's done. Actually, we got a question here. Matteo, does stall count more than a back loop? In some instances, yes, it can, because if it's massive, if it's really well landed, yes, it can. In theory, if they're the same height and the same landing, the back loop will score more because it's technically more difficult. So you saw them both. You made your call. I mean, it was a decent back loop from Tobias with a good landing. Liam's Dunkerbeck was, I would say, maybe a higher stalled forward, but the landing was wetter. Maybe even came out the straps a little bit, but the sail was still flying, hard for the judges to see. Wave riding, what do you think? Come on, put your predictions in the comments. I want to know who you think won that, Liam Dunkerbeck or Tobias Bjorna. I think I've got a call from my producer, but I can't make it. Hello. Okay, so it sounds like we're going to try and get some interviews after that semi-finals. That's the plan. I'm guessing there's going to be a heat break now, because one of the riders from that heat will be in the next one. Again, technical difficulties. That's the thing. I'm in Portugal. They're in Klitmuller. We were trying to work out a way to be able to communicate easily, but for some reason my phone keeps ringing out loud rather than in my ear. Anyway, we are here. Well, that's the good thing. We are bringing it to you. Let's have a look at these comments then. What have we got? Next time you're in SA, let me know. Glad to invite you. Oh, sounds great. Elands Bay. Make sure the beers are chilled. Well, I'm in. Tight heat, says Billy. Good luck, Anton. Anton Richter, obviously coming up in this next one, I think. How much does freestyling set cost? Well, that's a different question, but we will be into that. Liam's waves were much more dynamic and vertical, says Rasmus. Can you get a photo image of the heat draw somewhere? There is. I will bring that up now, actually. Now we haven't got any visuals. I will. It's on a Google Doc. So let me see if I can do it. Just give me. I'll just go through these comments. We'll work out who won. Tobias says Christiansen. Sounds Danish. Tobias won. Back loop was better. Waves equal, says Rene. Has someone ever made a push into double forward? It's definitely been tried. Definitely been tried. K4 Finn says Toby for the win. I'm sure I've seen some yellow fins in that Tobias's board. Yeah. So like I said, good to hear you guys, what you think. We watched screen on screen. So you guys saw what the judges saw. It doesn't always look the same angle, but it gives us a much better idea when we have those man-on-man heats. In theory, we should be able to do it. Alex Mussolini says Liam, but Tobias said really well. Well, Musso was a judge, so maybe that is interesting. I'd like to know what his breakdown of that heat was. Musso, let me know your breakdown of that heat. We want some more details. Guitar Tab says Tobias. Picture perfect now. Yeah, it's a lot to do with the weather and the internet connection from their end. So again, they're doing their best. That is for sure. Not easy conditions over there. Government election finish. Solid result into some solid wins. Sure, they pick up the performance. Rugby in the morning. Blah 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 blah. The words. Yeah, I'm just tough time being a judge. Close heat. I would agree with that. Close heat, but I think Tobias edges it. And that just goes to show, I think we have got a super close heat. I know who I would, you know, I think we might see that one wave from Liam Dunkerbeck. I think that could be the difference, because sometimes you forget how good that was. I think we might see it just edge that way. For Tobias, if he'd have nailed that first wave when he crashed the aerial, because you in your head you're counting that wave, but realistically, if you're a judge, it wouldn't, because he crashed. But that could have been the difference, and I said it at the beginning. Tobias, the waves made the difference for Liam. Yeah. You know, there's two waves. It does make a huge difference. Even that wave at the end would have been the difference. Oh, we've got an update here. Oh. Okay. So there we go. It is Tobias. So it is that wave. I mean, sorry, that jump, that back loop would have made the difference. I thought maybe that one wave from Liam would have done it. And it's just interesting. I'll be so close. So I mean, just looking at the comments, it was super interesting. I would say it was dead split. We got Stefan saying too much wind for the drones. Well, yeah, definitely. Congratulations, Tobias. Oh, Tobias won. Yeah, well, like I said, he had two waves. I thought maybe that first wave might have cost him. And we got Liam Dunkerbeck advances into the B final. Okay. Depends on the weight. Right call. That's what we're hearing. I'm just going to refresh. So someone was asking for me for the elimination. So while we've got a bit of time, that could have gone either way. I think there's definitely not, well, there is a loser in that. I was going to say there's no losers, but there definitely is. But if that had gone the other way, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But both deserved it. I thought Tobias's back loop was definitely the best scoring jump. His waves were not, both waves, I thought, I see, it was close. He had two solid waves, and Liam had that one really good wave. Oh, here we go. Hang on a minute. Oh, we just had an update. There's been a typo in the group chat. Liam Dunkerbeck is into the final. Okay, so there we go. And that goes back to what I said before. It could have gone either way. When I was trying to make a case for Liam winning it, and then the Tobias had won, I was like, oh, okay. So now I'll defend the other way. That one way from Liam was probably the difference maker. And that wave at the beginning from Tobias, which he crashed on the aerial, was actually maybe what cost him, which is, I'll go back to what I originally said. So I can totally see that. Liam is in first, it says. The car looks incredibly strong. It is super strong out there. There's a few people going, what? Yeah. And they were too quick to mention it. The waves made the difference, says Alex Mussolini. Okay, I think. Okay, I think we're going to go to an interview on the beach. That's the plan, or it has been the plan. I'm struggling to make contact, but as soon as they're ready, we're going to go to an interview, I think, with Liam Dunkerbeck on the beach.
We're live here, with the winner of the heat, Liam Dunkerbeck. So, Liam, how was it out there?
Yeah, it's really tricky, to be honest. Today it's a day that anybody that can have a good jump during the heat can go through. Usually when I have a good heat, I'm sure I made it, but this last one I wasn't really sure. I knew everything can happen because I had a high stall forward, but not really a back loop. But I think that what saved me was like I got two waves with really good turns and really long into the end. Then happy, and let's see, I will try to improve to the finals, and also I'm into the Danish Open, then we'll see how it works.
To be honest, it was very close because both. Yeah, so to be honest, it was very close because both Tobias and you got a wave right at the end, and the heat finished while you were on the wave. and you just managed to get a little bit longer and nicer waves and a few extra cuts.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do that jump, to be honest. I didn't want to finish my hit with a wave, but it was just like it came perfect to me. Then I turned around and grabbed it, and I was thinking all the time not to fall and stick it to the end, doing a few good turns, and that's what I did. And luckily, it saved me. I know I didn't do my best, but let's check the next one.
This is really tricky conditions, so stormy and gusty. How is it to sail here at the fish factory in Hanstholm, Denmark, compared to Gran Canaria?
I mean, I'm used to really strong winds and good waves to jump, but to be honest, today it's way too offshore. Then when you want to jump, you cannot really get speed from the inside as fast as possible. And when you jump, it's just like the wind is really on and off. And to be honest, it's really difficult.
Are you having fun out there, though?
Yeah, always.
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 That's good to hear. Okay. Well, thank you very much for the interview. We're going back to Ben, and good luck in the finals.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. Liam Dunkerbeck, you can see he was like, this is absolutely hard. There is no two ways about it. This guy can sail in wind, but yeah, that's tricky, man. That is tricky. And I think it did come down to that last wave from his, like right on the button. If he hadn't have got the last wave, Tobias was through to the final. And that is a big thing, because I'm not sure Liam Dunkerbeck can lose the world title now, because in the double elimination, he can only drop back to second, and Tobias would have to come through and win it. And then Tobias would have a first and a third, obviously third in Pozo, first in Klipmuller, and Liam would have a first and a second. So I'm pretty sure with that, oh no, he hasn't won the final yet. He hasn't won the final yet. If he does win the final, so if Liam wins the final, then he wins the world title. I'll get confirmation of that, but by my maths, that makes sense. He said obviously that was the semi-final. So now we're going to have the winners final and runners-up final. He will still have to win that final, because if he wins it, then you can't lose. You can't get worse than second. So that would guarantee him the win. If he comes second in that final, and then Tobias comes back through the double elimination, takes him out along the way, yes. So there we go. It's going to be Marlon, and I will do what I said I was going to do before. So apologies for that. Oh, there we go. Hello. Let me just share my screen just to give you an idea of exactly what we're dealing with here. So that is the way. Can you see that? So that is the way the draw looks at the moment. Obviously, under 20s simulation. These were the first rounds. Then we went into the... I'm just going to make it a bit bigger. Oh, that don't work. Okay, so yeah, this was obviously quarterfinals. We've just done the semi-finals, and then obviously the winners from this goes into the winners final. Winner from this, so it'll be Liam Dunkerbeck going against Marlon there, and then Samuel Ferrero going against Tobias Bjorn in the runners-up final. Heat order will be, oh, they're going to do the Danish wave by the looks of it. So it'll be runners-up final first, so losers final first, and then winners final, and then a heat break. And then they're going into the Danish wave. I'm not sure if Mr. Finn Nor is going to cover the Danish wave sailing. We will have to wait and see. I haven't heard about that, so forgive me for not knowing. This was obviously the seeding. Oh, Danish wave open. So it is on here. So I guess they're running the thing. Leon Jammer is there. Liam Donkerbeck, obviously, Kenneth Danielson, Mads Bjorne, Tobias Bjorne, Anton Richter, obviously Henry Kohlberg, Martin Tenhove, Lampy, Simon Tula. This is coming up maybe in the Danish wave. Again, Mikkel Asmussen on there. Wow. That is interesting. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure if the guys are streaming that, unless they might be just doing this stream for the kids. Because it is a free stream. Mr. Norstick himself is providing this stream. So massive thanks to Mr. Norstick. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'll put you back with the views from the area here. Oh, we are straight in. Apologies, I'm new to this. I'm used to doing it on my own. Okay. So we got Ferrero going against Tobias Bjorna. Oh, look at this wave. Going to get a nice smack on this. Nope, just closed out on him. Man-on-man heats. Runners-up final. This is the battle to see if you can get on the podium. Samuel Ferrero from Italy, or inside section. Doesn't quite get it as he would have wanted it. Tobias Bjorna. Here we go on the inside. He likes them sort of high line aerials, and that will count 100%. Gets a nice bit of air. Little vert hit on the inside, white water. Two waves, one jump to count, under 20s. We've got the final coming up after this. Pretty tricky. Looks like we're lagging a bit from the 60, 50, 40 knots, whatever the wind is over there. It's blowing strong. It's blowing, like I say, it's blowing the bandwidth away. Here we go. Ferrero on the inside. No, not finding it again. Tobias Bjorna definitely got the local knowledge. And that will definitely count in his favor. I would say he's already leading this heat. Decent aerial on that wave, and quite a long wave as well. He's finding the sections. He knows where to be, just setting himself up. Such a great place to sail, Denmark. Oh, look at this. Oh, so close to getting the money. That was a nice looking setup, that was. If you are just tuning in, like I said, the boys are doing their best to bring you the stream in from a very windy Houndstone beach in the middle of nowhere. So I'm sure these conditions don't help the bandwidth on the beach. Like I said, we do have pretty decent fiber internet here in Portugal, but to get it through seamlessly, it seems to be going a little bit in and out. Oof, nasty catapult there from Tobias Bjorna. But I'd say leading the heat so far. Advantage, local boy. I mean, he had a really difficult semi-final there against Liam Dunkerbeck. Liam Dunkerbeck, obviously the top seed in this, winning in Pozo. He's been styling it up as well in the men's fleet on the PWA IWT tour. But as we've kind of mentioned earlier, Tobias only 17 years old, so he's got a few years left in this category. Liam Dunkerbeck surely must be on his last year of under 20s. Here we go. Ferreira. No. Maybe the wind just shined down a little bit on that inside. Or gets a little tap. The weather is definitely playing its part. You can see just the color changes on the cameras as it's struggling. A bit of light. Bring on the sun. Bring on the sun. I mean, it could be worse. We could have no wind. At least we've got some wind. Here we go. Tobias Bjorn on the outside. Oh, he's gone for the back loop again. Not the easiest move in these conditions and doesn't get the landing. We heard Dunkerbeck saying that before. It's really hard to get the speed. And the problem is when it's so windy, if you haven't got the speed, which is why you see everyone going really fast, when you haven't got the speed, you have way more power in your sail. Oh, nice. Nice from Ferrero. Lands the backy. So advantage in the jumps. Again, Liam Dunkerbeck said it. If you land your jump, it's almost like, wow, that's it. You know, that's advantage. Not easy to find that landed jump. But the bias is definitely with the waves because there's 2 waves to count. But Ferrero maybe got himself back in this a bit now. Needs to back it up with a good wave. Tobias Bjorn needs a jump. Wind maybe dropping a bit now from the earlier gusting. Again, it doesn't need to drop much when you're on small sails like this. Just a little bit of a drop in the wind can be very tricky. Ferrero on the inside, is he making a challenge here? Vert hit, pretty. Oh, he doesn't make it. Wind dropping out. Tobias Bjorn needs to get the jump in. Not long in this heat left to go. We still got the green flag up. Back loop, he does land it. So have to say Tobias Bjorn in control from where we've been looking here in the commentary. I think we've got about 5 seconds until the 1 minute. Would that be right? Yeah, there we go. 1 minute to go. Big backy on the inside. Couldn't get it to rotate from Ferrero. And that could be the moment where that heat has gone away from him now. Tobias lands his back loop. He's already got some good waves. He's got a minute now to find maybe like the finishing move, like Street Fighter style or Mortal Kombat. Needs that finishing blow where he bashes it out. Ferrero needs to find a wave, and it needs to be something big. Tobias Bjorn, 30 seconds to go, 25 seconds to go, I should say. It's his last chance, Saloon, to put a full stop on the end of this performance. Very light on the inside, which is not a bad thing. It's better than 50 knots. Oh, that's not a bad wave, is it? That is running. That thing is running. He's just waiting for it to build up. He's already on the beach. And that will be it for Tobias Bjorn. And you've got to think, unless Ferrero can do something now, that's the red flag. So it is over. Who's your money on? Let me know in the comments. For me, that looked pretty easy. Let me know in the comments below on the YouTube or whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Okay, they're going to announce the winners after the end of the final. Obviously, final coming up. We've got Marlon Mavana. Let's have a look, actually. Let me just check something out here. Yeah, final still. 2 waves, 1 jump to count. Marlon Mavana going against Liam Dunkerbeck in the final. We've got Tabsane Toby for the 3rd place. That was obviously the runners-up final. So winner will get 3rd place. Ian Ross saying I would be flapping around like a flag in those conditions. It's way difficult as well. I mean, compared to how it looks, I know I've said that a lot of times on the stream today, but I can't give it enough. I can't do it enough justice. You know, how windy it looks on the stream will be so windy in real life. It will be absolutely immense. Like Pozo looks like a walk in the park sometimes when I'm on the stream, and then I go out there and go sailing and you can't even hang on. So just looking at what these guys are dealing with today, you just know it's insane. It is insane. So 1 minute to go. Liam Dunkerbeck against Marlon Mavner from Germany. Marlon looked really good today, really aggressive style. Could he cause the upset? In these conditions, all bets are off, 100%. Obviously, you got to find the waves. You got to find that jump. You just got to stick a jump. One jump, you're not going to get much difference unless we're seeing doubles or push forwards. But in these conditions, you're not going to see that, I don't think. But just landing a decent back gear or stall forward or a decent high push loop would probably be enough, and then just let the waves do the talking. But as we've seen, 9 minutes, you don't get many waves. It's probably 3 waves, you know, if you're not super selective. And sometimes you don't know which wave's going to be good. You know, you just got to go a lot of the time. You know, you've got a fair idea. You're not going to take the worst looking wave, but some of those mid waves can turn up to be like real runners, and you never know. And some of the big waves can close out early. So it's not always the fact of going for the big wave. So here we go. We should be up and running. Yep, green flag is up. So Marlon on the left, Liam Dunkerbeck on the right. There we go, duotone. Switch to their other rider now. Marlon for the win. He's looked good today, no doubt about it, but he's got his work cut out here, Liam Dunkerbeck. But not easy at all. Ooh, bang. First blood definitely to Liam Dunkerbeck here. Look at that wave. Oh, you have to say that's the way you want to start the heat. If anyone's ever competed in your life, it feels so good to get the wave at the beginning of the heat and you know it's a counting wave. It's like, okay, I'm 50% done. I've got now 8 minutes, you know, to find one more wave. It makes it, if you make your jump on the next run, you're like, it is just such a good feeling. You crash your first wave like we saw in Marlon there, you instantly get this stress. You instantly go, oh shit, that's, you know, I've already eaten 3 minutes before you get the next wave. So you're already doing a 6 minute heat. It really does change that quickly. So it's so important, well, for me anyway, to get that first wave. And if you don't, okay, you reset, you have a shorter heat, essentially. Here we go, Marlon. You know, he can't afford to mess this wave up. Needs to be a counter here. He's going against Liam Dunkerbeck. This is the final, under 20s. First turn. Wants the money. Oh, look at that. Nice. Oh, he's making it count. That is a lovely looking wave. Oh, just got stuck and goes down under maybe a bit of pressure there. Just went a bit early. He'll be knowing it as well. Sometimes when you make the decision in these wins, you have to go. And even if you know it's wrong, you're like, okay, you don't really get to take that decision back. As Liam Dunkerbeck gets a massive gust as he takes off. His gear is floating away from him. He is not near it at the moment. This is big news. If Marlon had started the heat better, he'd be in a very good position right now because Liam Dunkerbeck is swimming and he's got a long way back to his gear. His gear could even end up on that breakwater. Wow. Could this change the heat? He's already had that big wave. But yeah, where is he? I mean, weather conditions, it's really difficult on that right-hand camera. But Liam, look how far away he is. The gear is quite far away, but so far Marlon hasn't really had a chance to make it count. That kit has gone all the way to the beach. Liam is pretty much there, though. And in that time, Marlon, the only thing he's managed to do is get back up into a scoring position. But so in terms of making it count, nothing has happened just yet. But Liam Dunkerbeck is not out of the woods. As you can see, it's getting smashed a little bit on that beach break. Here we go. Marlon needs something now. Needs to make this extra time count. A massive out the front door. Big gust come through, hits the chop. Oh, maybe he's feeling a bit of pressure here. If you are just joining, this is the final of the under-20s Youth World Cup. World Tour, I should say. Second round of the World Tour, the final of the World Tour for the youth and juniors. Liam Dunkerbeck has maybe got away with one here, because Marlon wasn't quite able to do it. Goes for a big backy. Does he get that? Just over. Well, no, he did get it. Wasn't the best landing, but he does sail away. It's difficult to see that sail. We've got Liam Dunkerbeck. Wants to stall forward and gets it. Liam Dunkerbeck's leading here for me. He's already had that really good wave at the beginning. And don't forget, that was a really good wave from Liam Dunkerbeck at the beginning. Really nice stall forward there, like delayed. You know, one more little backup wave. Yeah, Marlon's not had his best heat. It's probably his worst heat of this round, and it's in the final. He's going to be upset with himself a little bit, but really tricky conditions. Let's not, you know, dismiss that fact. This is brutal. Absolutely brutal. I mean, no doubt about it. Marlon will probably get the wave of his life now. And he'll be like, oh, why couldn't I do that at the beginning? Oh, look at this section. Nice. That's more like it from Marlon. That's what he needs. Oh, he's just bogged it. So difficult. Liam Dunkerbeck pretty much just needs a backup wave now. To be honest, he's probably still in the lead. Just the way this heat has gone for Marlon, it's just not really worked out for him. And Liam Dunkerbeck has got one hand on that youth world title. I mean, under 20s, you know, he's coming to the end of that under 20s now. He won't be able to do another one. And I think he's the best rider in it. You know, he showed in Pozo, and he's showing it here in some pretty difficult conditions in Denmark. This is proper storm force here. You know, we had gusts of, what, 52 knots earlier. So, proving. Well, it would have been nice, actually. It still might, we still might see it during the week with some real down-the-line, proper, you know, streaming waves. Brutal conditions for the camera guys out there as well. I mean, I think they're even just trying to find Liam Dunkerbeck is a battle. It's not easy. Super windy. I think we've got maybe a couple of minutes left in this heat. Yeah, 2 minutes left in the heat. And Liam Dunkerbeck, I think this will be the nail in the coffin. But really impressive stuff. Marlon won't be happy with the way the final's gone. Again, difficult conditions, but to make the final, I think that's just impressive in itself. I mean, he'll be super happy. Guarantees himself a podium at this World Tour stop. So that's big, you know, for the guys coming up to get on the podium, guaranteed. And there's no, he might still come back and win it if they do the double elimination. But the one thing he can guarantee is he will be on the podium. He's going to finish second from what we've seen here, which means in the double elimination, he can only drop to third if he, you know, didn't have his best heat. But he can still win it. Here we go. Marlon is going to try again. Wants that backy. Doesn't get it. So and we've got about 45 seconds left on the clock. Stormly saying someone asked about water temperature in Handstone Harbour. It's 14 degrees. Yeah. So it might be a bit colder further out. But it isn't warm, that's for sure. Oh, bad. Oh, that was a nasty crash. Is he all right? Keep your eye on him because that looked pretty nasty. I mean, these are brutal conditions. You know, anything can happen. You know, a lot of sports are not dealing with this sort of crazy wind. 360 attempt from Dunkerbeck. It's brutal. Absolutely brutal. I'm sure we'll be getting some interviews with the riders after this final. We'll be going to go to the prize giving. I think the flag's had enough. That is the end of the heat. The red flag is up. So that was the final of the under 20s IWT PWA. Obviously, lots of other categories, under 17s, under 15s. We've got girls, boys. We've got, well, we've got, like I said, all of them. Although, will we be seeing them today? I don't think they're going to want to send them in these brutal conditions. You know, they've put the under 20s boys out. You know, these are literally the big boys. They are the big boys. Look at this. Liam just finishing up. Obviously, this is the end of the heat, but just finishing on that wave. We've got a question coming in, amateur question from Jeff Smith. You have said it's extremely cold. Will they be wearing 5mm suits? I asked because of maneuverability, which I led to believe. I think at the moment it's not that cold in cold Hawaii, he says, sitting in Portugal. But I think from what I've read earlier from a few comments, a 4-3, I think you could still be fine in a 4-3 suit. So with that said, 14 degrees, the water's not that cold. I would say that's quite warm, isn't it? I think it will go cold pretty quickly. But I think at the moment it's still got the warmth from the summer. But like I said, I'm quite happy to be wrong if someone wants to let me know in the comments below. But I think it's pretty okay. Where I find it cold is cold Hawaii in the spring, and then you've got the winter cold water. This seems to be, you know, the air temperature maybe not that bad, but the water's pretty nippy. But I think that the autumn sort of stuff, in my experience of cold Hawaii anyway, I guess it changes from year to year. But I feel like it's been a warm summer and maybe a longer summer. But Carol Weber says 6'4" mil. Are you joking? Crikey, that's like lack of maneuverability. I have got a 6'4" hooded suit. But I haven't used it for a long time. Actually, now I've got new sponsors with O'Neill. I should actually look into what winter suits they've got. I'm sure they've got some pretty decent ones. We've got Nicholas Bryant saying we wear 5mm wetsuits almost all year in northern France. No problem at all from maneuverability. I mean, you've got to say, again, I'm going on about my sponsors, O'Neill, but the 5mm suits now, I mean, they are so flexible and so maneuverable. I really think like wetsuit maneuverability has changed over the years. If I think back to when I was a kid, which was a long time ago, yes, I know. But it's like what? I was, oh God, it's scary when I say it. 30 years ago, I was 15 years old. Let's say 35 years ago when I was 10, I had this suit with like a across the shoulder zip. Anyone remember those? Do they still make those type of suits? Do you remember it? And to undo it, I had to like hook myself onto like a coat hook or a door handle, bend down, hook it to a door handle, and then I would kind of maneuver myself around as I undid it. It was like I think they used to call it a semi-dry suit. Do they still make those type of suits? And like your arms would be in a constant like position. It's kind of funny. Obviously, we're going to go to the prize giving of this, and they're going to tell us the exact results. We're still waiting for the official results. That's why I'm chatting like this. So as soon as I hear anything, I will be going to that. Rasmus saying with modern wetsuits, not much difference between 5 and 4mm. I'd agree with that 100%. I still use a 3-2 in West Sweden, 12 degrees in the water and wind, no problem at all. Yeah, that's what I would say. Again, I'm not speaking from experience at the moment, but that's what I would say. Sarah Jackson says suddenly went cold yesterday in Tyree, swung northwest and went from being a comfy 4-3 to cold in a 5-4. Need to get an O'Neill suit. There is also 5-4-3 wetsuits, which I'm guessing 5 body, 4 leg, 3 arm. Is that what that means? I'm guessing it's not 3 body, 5 arms, 4 legs. It's the hands and feet that get cold. Yeah. Do you sell in boots? I mean, I'm not a big fan of boots getting stuck in the straps. That's always been my problem with it. 3.2 mil shorty in Dunkirk, northern France last weekend. 22 degrees. James saying, oh God, bad memories of those penguin suits. I was made to wear my grandpa's suit. Let me just check the Okay, so we do have interviews coming up. I'm going to say you can see the technology. I need to get it sorted. Like I say, it was a bit last minute this stream. We weren't meant to be doing anything this weekend. I was already planned to do other things, but we've made it happen. So it will get better. But we have got interviews coming up with the winners, finalists, and all sorts of stuff. Where my grandpa's
We need to still find the sailors.
Okay, we're here from the beach with the head judge. How has it been in there, determining the winners?
Well, has been so far good competition. The conditions are super tough, super hard. It's really difficult to sail. We're having 100 kilometers per hour winds and big waves. But the youth riders are ripping it up. So yeah, let's see who's winning.
Do you have the results of the final yet?
Yes.
Oh.
Now we know.
Okay, so I'm asking if he has the results, and he claims to have the results. But are you willing to announce them so far?
Yes, we are gonna get the riders around, and as soon as we have the 4 of them for the finals, we will announce who's the.
Okay, we are so excited to hear about it. Anything else you would like to say about this extreme place, the Fish Factory here in Hanstholm?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's so extreme and but so good for us, for the windsurfing in waves. It's an amazing place, and we are all super happy to be here for the finals.
Glad you came, and we're looking forward to hear the results.
Yes, let's see.
Back to Ben.
Okay, so there we go. I think he was trying to get the results out of him, but it isn't happening. So we are going to get, as far as I know, they're going to get the riders together and they will announce the results as like a mini prize giving. So looking forward to that. Who do we think won? I think we saw on the stream. I thought it was pretty clear, both of them. But again, it's been good to see the official results. Just going back to the comments while we wait for these interviews, but I think they're just going to jump straight in. So I'll just get ready to shut up at any moment when they do. But just going back to the comments, if you wear a 5 now in 14 water, what are you going to wear when it's winter in Switzerland with 7 water and even less air? Exactly. That's my feeling on it. 3.2 in 14. Although I'm saying that, if I was in Denmark right now, probably being like an 8 mil. Ireland just went from 18 degrees to 8 over the last 2 days. It does sound like there's a bit of a cold snap going on. Looks like we've got a bit of action from the boys. I'm going to leave their mic on just in case we hear something. Boots are almost a must here. You can't get out on the water without cutting up your feet because of all the sharp oysters on the bottom. Okay. That's nasty. Alex Duggan saying open palm mitts. Yeah. Well, I've got a video. Well, you stay tuned to the channel because there has been look at that. Look at that. Ridiculous. Dean Hendry saying, Ben, who is the head judge? That is Emilio. So Emilio PWA, obviously judge. Did all the youth stuff in Pozo. He goes to every competition, does a lot of the stuff, does a lot of the stuff with the racing as well. Really good sailor as well. Really handy sailor. So he knows his stuff, that's for sure. We got a bit of good luck to Ricardo Campello. He's not here. He's a little bit too old for the juniors. This is the Youth and Juniors World Cup in cold Hawaii in Denmark, in case there is some confusion. How about the men? Are we going to be competing with that as well? Well, there isn't any men in this competition, although you could argue 19-year-olds is a man. But this is youth and juniors. This is exactly what it says on the tin. They've got their own event. And I will say, they weren't going to have live stream. Finn Nor, Stream Factory, Mr. Norstick, you know, his main job is a streaming company, not filming windsurfing, obviously, but he's doing this for free. So this stream is for free for the youths and juniors. He wanted to give it back. Obviously lives up in Klitmuller. He's been on World Cup himself back in the day. It's actually interesting because I'm talking about doing a video with him about foiling, because he was like the most anti-foiler, and now, oh my God, you've never heard someone bang on about foiling more than him. And if you'd heard him the other year, you will know. Okay, so we are going to live on the beach. God knows why my phone keeps ringing out loud. We're going to the beach to hear from the head judge who's going to announce the winners.
You're ready. Okay, we are ready to announce the winners. Please tell us.
Okay, so here we are. We did the single elimination for the under 20 category in pretty hardcore conditions, and yes, on fourth place we have Samuele from Italy. Good job.
Thank you.
You can stand there. Yeah, stay. Yeah, you were sailing really good, and in the last hit against Tobias, you were struggling a bit. Yeah, yes. But the previous hit were very good. Yeah, you were sailing good. Thank you. On third position is Tobias Bjørna from Denmark. Also sailing really good in these super difficult conditions. And on second place is Marlon. And the winner of the single elimination is Liam Dunkerberg. Yeah, go on top.
Nearly getting blown off.
Man, it's windy here.
Tobias, are we online? Okay, great. We're here with Tobias Bjørno, the local hero from Hanstholm Klitmøller. How was it out there?
Really hard. I mean, it was so gusty. Like sometimes there's no wind, and sometimes you are like fully overpowered. And well, some good waves in between, but it was fun.
It was fun. And you had a really close heat with Dunkerbeck. So tight in the end. How did that feel?
I mean, could be nice to beat him, but close.
Sometimes sometimes you have the double elimination to go back at them.
Yeah, it looks like we have a good forecast for the next 3 days, so should be able to have a double.
Great. Good luck.
Thank you.
We're gonna take to Marlon here. Where is he?
Who do you need?
We'll go to Liam. Liam, congratulations with your win.
Thank you. Really stoked. It was a really hard day, to be honest.
How did the final go for you?
Whoa. I was doing something between swimming and windsurfing in that final, but yeah, it was pretty strong, like really gusty. In one moment, I was with the water until my hip almost, like, and the board was really bad, the wind, and then it went like too much.
Yeah, more than 50 knots.
Yeah. I
What was
think
your best move out there?
surviving.
Surviving. That's
Yeah.
great. Surviving and winning.
Yeah, stoked.
You had such a close heat with Tobias, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
It was sailing good. We can tell he knows the spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you proud that you have some Danish blood in your veins?
Yeah. But it doesn't work because I'm freezing, you know.
That's good.
I think I'm like 70% Spanish.
You
Then.
need more Viking. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're going back to Ben now. Back to the studio. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. It looked pretty dangerous over there standing on. There's so much wind. It's just been difficult to even stand still. But there you go. I mean, a really difficult day. You've got to say it. I mean, we've got to look back at that single elimination under 20s men. I have a feeling that might be it. Let me just have a look at what I'm getting through this WhatsApp group, because it says, Advanced Liam, under 17s are released for today. We're going to keep going with the Danish Open. So there is going to be a Danish Open. I'm not sure if Mr. Norstick is going to film the Danish Open. I will have to check again. But from the under 20s, winner Liam Dunkerbeck, second Marlon. Again, didn't have his best final, but to get into second place, guarantee a podium, that's big. That is really big. So really well done to him. He was sailing good today, especially in those early rounds. Third place, Tobias Bjorn. Again, that big heat for him was the Liam Dunkerbeck heat. And as we kind of clarified watching, it could have gone either way. If it had gone, as we thought at one point, it had gone Tobias's way, I can kind of make a case for it. If it had gone Liam's way like it did, I can also make a case for it. I'd love to see the sheets, because I think that would have been a super close one. But because it went Liam's way, you look back at the heat and you think, okay, what was the difference? What do you think the judges saw? It was the wave riding. That one wave in the beginning, I think, or in the middle of the heat, was a real difference maker. And I think that's what kind of split it at the end. And then Ferrero as well, sailing better in the early rounds, didn't have his best sort of runners-up final, finishes fourth, but I think he'll be happy. There's some big names there. We obviously saw the Aussie boys. It looks like there's 3 of them over, so that's really good to see. And I'm sure that maybe there's some in the other categories. Although, did they travel over here? I'm not sure. I'll have to look through them, but I'm expecting to see some of them come back in the double elimination. Maybe we have conditions which are a bit easier, because these were very, very brutal conditions. Like, I can't state that enough. This is as difficult as windsurfing gets, wave sailing competition gets. That is crazy. We have just heard no more junior competition today. And I think that's a fair call, because this is extreme. They've put the oldest riders out and the most experienced riders, and even those guys were really up against it, I think. Very, very difficult. So, that sounds like we could be done for the day. Again, I will have to take some updates from Finn. We do have an interview with Marlon. So we have an interview with Marlon coming up. And it'd be good to hear from him. Like I said, he's had a good event. And he's right up there, podium guaranteed. So as soon as we've got that interview with Marlon, I will be cutting straight over to it.
Midna, sailing here in Fish Factory, Hanstholm.
Yeah, it was very nice.
The wind was blowing like gusts up to 50 knots. The waves were pumping. We had nice waves to wave ride, but the wind was absolutely firing, so that was very difficult. I think I never sailed in such a much wind, so yeah, that was nice.
It was like a storm chase for you, this
Yeah.
this experience.
Yeah.
We're glad we can serve you such extreme conditions here in
Yeah,
Denmark. Well, what was your best wave out there? What did it feel really nice?
I think maybe in the semi-final, I had a very nice wave. I think maybe 3-4 turns. So yeah, it was nice.
It looked nice and powerful from land, and amazing you could hold on to the rig blowing more than 50 knots.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah, and how was your jumping?
Yeah, my jumping was in the beginning. I struggled a little bit because I was not so managed with a big wind, with strong wind. But at the end, I could manage it. So I got a big back loop. So I'm happy. I'm very happy about this. So yeah.
And you managed to hold on and stick to it. That's great. Now, good luck with you in the second elimination, and we hope to see your great performance once again.
Yeah, thank
Maybe
you.
you can beat Liam. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. But maybe, yeah.
We'll see. All the best of luck to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so there we go. That's what we want to see. You want to put faces to the names, you know, especially in this youth and junior category. I think the more chance we get to see who's who, you can kind of buy into it more. You can maybe it helps you get get a little bit more knowledge of who these guys are. You know, just seeing them on the screen, just seeing the brands that they're sailing, I think doesn't tell it. But when you see their faces, you see the smile, you see, whatever. I think that's really where we've got to go to. So great to the guys to bring in the interviews in. At the moment, I've still not heard exactly what the plan is after this, because we weren't expecting, obviously, to run. We weren't expected to run today anyway, so they have done the under-20s. I'm just waiting for confirmation of what the plan is. That could be it for us, or there could be more streaming coming. But as soon as I hear, I will let you know. I am at their disposal. Okay, I thought that might be the case. Okay, I've just heard that's it for the day. So just so you know, the Danish Open, which is the national wave sailing event, will carry on today. So those guys are kind of fitting in between the juniors. So we'll be back again tomorrow to cover the youth and juniors. So that is it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Massive thanks to Norstick and Finn North for supplying the streaming. Like I said, big thanks to all the riders as well. I mean, going out there, especially the Aussies coming all the way from Australia, I bet they weren't expecting that. Let me just put myself in. Yeah, there we go. So thanks for me in Portugal. The boys are going to go back and get ready for tomorrow, because it isn't easy. It definitely isn't easy. I'm getting updates on my phone. It's not been the most seamless thing. And Finn just told me, say thank you to the volunteers. Obviously, I'm not there, but these events definitely do not happen without quite a lot of volunteers. If you've never organized an event, you will never know how hard it is to put the things in place which you guys at home, and me as a sailor when I've been competing, that you just take for granted. Like, these things happen and these updates happen and this happens, but it really doesn't happen without all the helpers, and it's a lot to put all these together. And you can imagine with under 15s, under 17s, under 20s, girls, boys, all the live streaming crew, everything, there's food, there's loads of stuff going on behind the scenes. And I know some people don't even care about that. You're like, yeah, whatever, Ben, just show me the windsurfing. But I'm not joking. It really makes a big, big difference. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in. That is it from me in Portugal. Come back tomorrow. Is there a bit less wind tomorrow? I'm just going to check while I'm on the stream. Let me just do it live on here. Wind Guru. Let's put in Handstone, Clip Muller. Let's see what we've got to look forward to. I'm going to share this screen because it's not as simple as you might think. So you think I'm there going, oh yeah, it's lighter winds tomorrow. This is tomorrow, Sunday. It's not that much lighter, is it? Let's be honest. It's not that much lighter. Some might say it's just as windy. It's maybe a touch. This is what we had today. Gusts, pretty accurate, to be fair. Gusts of 53 knots, dropping down to 50 now. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Oh, it's only 46 knots, 44, 42, 40. You know, by the end of the day, it's dropped to 40. But that is the gust. So from what we've had today, I would say that forecast seems pretty accurate. I know the Danish guys have got like a Danish day forecast they look at. But for me, that's good enough. The waves pretty similar, maybe even getting a bit bigger in the morning, if you can see, maybe at least the same size. And then Monday, this could be like one of the days. This could be like dreamy. You know, that's cross offshore, a little bit smaller waves, but the wind is much more manageable. And even Tuesday. So this looks superb. As we get to here, all bets are off. But it looks like we've got 4 days of competition. Like I say, all different categories. We've got boys and girls, under 15, under 17, under 20s. That's where we're at. Thanks again for joining. I'm definitely signing out now when I find my little jingle. And that's it. See you for the next one.